Streaming. Oh, I hit the stream button. Don't know if it started yet. Did it start yet? Hey, we're live. We live? We live. Hey.
And I just got the notification saying that you're live.
Hey. My timing was decent this time. I should really make some sort of like starting stream soon thing so people can collect in before I start actually going over the stuff for the stream. But I am bad new streamer, so I don't have art yet. Hey, Koi Foster, thanks for popping in early. Sup, Murats? It's going well. Hello, Exodus. Hello, Exbur. How long have I been streaming? I say I'm a bad new streamer because I streamed a little bit of Monster Hunter World, mostly for like content drops and stuff like that, but I never took it seriously because I'm primarily, you know, a video maker, a content creator, not really a streamer, and I never liked streaming Monster Hunter World. But I discovered when I started streaming Genshin for funsies that I really like streaming Genshin because I can pause whenever. And I can just go into chat and like answer some questions and spend 80 to 90% of my entire stream answering questions and figuring out how to optimize people's builds from the characters they list and stuff, which is fun. So now I like streaming, but I have no streaming tool set up. I have none of the stuff that streamers normally do before they ever start streaming. Jing is a bit cope. He can be good, and he has synergies. His synergies are just innately weaker than other synergies because water reactions are weak in the game. Change the name of the channel to mainstreaming things? I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah, Genshin doesn't need more my attention than not that. And I mean, honestly, it's the first game in a while I've actually legitimately wanted to make content about because I'm enjoying it and because it fits me well. Like, Genshin is a lot more about, like, less how good you are at, like, fighting games or brawler games and how good your reaction time is and all. And it's a lot more about, like, the micromanaging during a fight of your cooldowns and your abilities and stuff like that, which I'm very good at. That's one of my strengths. I like logistics puzzles. And also about how you build your characters and how you build your comps. And, like, because we all get different, you know, tools to work with. Like, in Monster Hunter, there is one single solution. You know, once we figure out what the meta set is, that's the meta set. There's no more puzzle to be solved every patch. Every patch, first 2 to 4 hours, we figure out the new meta sets. That's it. The puzzle's done. There's no more puzzles. I have not played Factorio because I know I'd get way too into it. So I have not gotten into it yet because I know I'm going to lose myself for at least a week in that game if I play it. Yeah, that's how I was at Frostpunk. When I played Frostpunk, I lost myself for a week in Frostpunk. So like I'm avoiding it because I know I'll get way too into it. Because I have friends who are playing Factorio right now I could play with, but I just didn't want to lose myself in it. So yeah, anyway, it's fun because everyone has different tools, you know, puzzle pieces to work with. We all have different characters, different weapons, all of that we've rolled. So it means that every single time someone goes, hey, I've got these characters, what should I build my comp around? I have a brand new puzzle to work out on stream, and that's really fun for me. Frostpunk is so good. Yeah, I haven't finished the new DLC yet, but I will spend 2 days grinding out the new DLC and like optimizing, getting the optimal run before if I start playing it again, so I haven't touched it yet. Even though I own the season pass. But yeah, welcome guys. Okay, we got 89 people in stream. It's a good starting place. We can get started. So today, this is going to be a relatively short stream because I want to end stream relatively quickly because how it works on YouTube is when you end a stream, it then takes YouTube a few hours to up to a day to take that stream and give the high definition VOD that the content creator can download and use. So I want to end stream relatively early, like in maybe 2 hours or something. So that way it can start processing, and then I can take this 2-hour stream and cut it down into like an easy 10-20 minute video to put on the channel so people know what good characters look out for. So I don't want the stream to go on too long for that reason. I might stream again a little bit later tonight after dinner, just to answer questions, help you guys with your builds, play a little bit of, hopefully get my commissions done this time, because I had to finish my dailies off stream after my 7-hour stream yesterday, because I spent the entire time answering questions. Discombobulating, I will not be answering questions during this stream because I want to keep it kind of condensed and focused on talking about the tier lists. And later tonight, I'm going to do a stream where I'll be answering questions. Yeah, I want to focus on, in fact, I should probably put that in the description for this video. I'll be answering questions and helping with builds in tonight's, in the stream later tonight after Din. I want to focus on covering the tier lists in under an hour for future video purposes.
Is that title gonna fit?
It's a description, not title.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 60 character limit for title, so no, that would not fit.
I'm just like,
yeah.
It sounds like a lot of words.
Okay, so, yeah, we got 100 people in here. That's a good starting place. So let's start with just the general, how good is each character? This is like the general, if you roll, like, you look at this list and you go, hey, on my first initial rolls, I got these characters. Is this a good place to start? You refer to this list and see how many double S and S tiers and A tiers you got, basically. Because if you did, then yeah, it's a good place to start, basically. So, first off, let's just throw Zhao and Clay in well for when they come out, because at least at the current moment, yeah, I've heard about and seen some of the leaks about them, but until we have official data on how they are and actually can play with them, I'm not gonna make judgments on how good they are, because we won't know until we see the official release date. Okay, so double S, Sustainer of Heavenly Principles. This one's easy. Dayluk, Venti, let's see, where are you? Fischl, Chi-Chi, and I'm gonna put Keijing in here, even though she's really more top of S tier. I'm gonna put Keijing in here specifically because these first three are rumored to be getting nerfed minorly. And if they do get nerfed minorly, and I've also heard a rumor that Keijing is gonna get buffed. And Keijing is like already basically competing for like top DPS slot with Dayluk, as it currently stands, but is not quite there yet. Specifically because the hardest content in the game is Abyss Floor 12. And Abyss Floor 12 is a Pyro floor where Pyro deals more damage, therefore making Dayluk better for the end game than Keijing is, because he's a fire character. That's really the only reason. Keijing and Dayluk are right next to each other, but Dayluk is above her because the hardest content in the game is a fire floor. It's a fire specific floor. So that's really the only thing putting like Dayluk over him. Venti's busted as shit, obviously. Early game he's overpowered. In terms of just exploring and playing the story, he's overpowered because he can lift you into the air, which lets you save time on platformers, on climbing. It lets you completely skip certain puzzles in the game because you could just fly over them as Venti. Late game, he's the most broken support in the game, hands down, because he's the best wind support and Nemo support in the game. For those of you who don't know, there is a set bonus called the Viridescent Verdant. There's a artifact set bonus that makes that 4 pieces makes it that whenever an Anemo character procs their swirl effects, whatever elements the swirl effect proc with, the enemy loses 40% of that elemental resistance. So just imagine you set someone on fire with Dayluk, you pop Venti ult and E, or E and ult on that target, they have 40% less fire resistance, and then Dayluk goes to fucking town on them. Like, Wind is busted in late game because of that set bonus. So, Venti is just a god, literally. Like, he is a god. Venti, there are rumors they're gonna nerf him, but it won't matter because he's the best Anemo character. He'll always be top god tier because he's the best Anemo character. Plus, he has the best CC in the game. So, you know. Alright, next up, Fischl. Fischl is the only 4-star in this list because she's the best 4-star in the game. Fischl is dumb because she is the best 4-star in the game and you don't ever even really get to see her. Her job is to pop onto the field, throw her bird turret down, and leave. And then when her bird turret goes down, she goes in the field, pops her ultimate to refresh the bird turret, and leaves. That turret is better than most of the other characters in the game. Just that one turret is fucking busted. Because it does everything a support needs to do except for healing and CC. The bird turret does very good damage just by itself. It shoots once per second, 10 seconds duration. Every single shot generates one energy orb, which is the fastest passive energy generation in the game. She is the best at generating energy for your team when she's not even on the field. So yeah, high damage, high DPS while off the field, high energy generation when she's off the field, and every single one of those bird attacks also puts an electro status on someone, so that means you can get a potential 1 electro status reaction for damage every single second. So if you mix it with like Diluc, you're getting 1 free overload of easily 1-2k damage depending on your level. Like I think my overloads hit like 900 right now at level 60. Every single overload is an extra 900 damage every second because Fischl popped her bird. And on top of that, she's a banner character right now in patch 1.0, meaning she's easier to get, so you can easily get constellations, and every single Fischl constellation is good. There is not a single bad Fischl constellation, and Constellation 6 Fischl is almost Venti tier god. Like, Fischl is stupid. If you get a Fischl, just getting a Fischl on an account, which is very realistic, makes it a good account. Fischl is busted. Best support in the game next to Venti. And on top of that, Fischl is arguably the best ranged carry in the game, because when you get constellations on Fischl, she becomes a very potent carry. She doesn't compete with like the Claymore carries or Keijing as a carry, but she's right behind them if you have constellations on her. Because the first constellation, meaning the first time you get a duplicate Fischl, you get a 22% damage echo on every auto attack. Every auto attack does an additional shot that deals 22% damage. If you get her to Constellation 6, then when her bird is on the field, she or anyone else gets a 30% of her attack electro damage echo with every single attack. So yeah, Fischl is just fucking stupid. Next up, Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi is the best healer in the game. That's pretty much what puts her up here. She's the best ice character and the best healer in the game. That makes her have amazing synergy with electro comps, especially a Razor carry comp, because ice plus electro equals superconductor, which reduces physical damage resistance, therefore making physical carries like Razor or like a carry Fischl even stronger, because they're dealing more physical damage. So Chi-Chi is the best healer in the game. She doesn't have the best heals, but she's the best healer slot character. When you want a healer on your team, Chi-Chi is the best pick for that. Because her heals aren't as strong as Barbara, but Barbara can literally only do healing and buffing your teammates. That's the only thing she can do. Chi-Chi does very good damage output for a support. She even makes a decent like physical or ice carry, because her auto attacks heal your entire team, so you can use her as a carry to just heal up your team if you take extra damage. She's not like top tier carry, but she's decent. She does the best cryo application in the game next to like Chong Yun, but she has better synergies because her cryo application is transferable. So you can pop her stuff, get cryo on the field, hitting constantly, and then switch to like Razor, get superconductor procs while beating shit with Razor. Chi-Chi's fantastic. She would be the best 5-star support in the game if Venti didn't exist. She does like whatever Venti doesn't do for your team, Chi-Chi does the other support things for your team, basically. So next up is Keijing. Keijing I already put just at top of S tier, but after looking into it more, she's definitely double S tier. Just at the bottom of it, because she's pretty much the only other carry character that competes with Diluc currently at the top level. Because they basically run the same comps. Both of them generally tend to run overload comps. But Diluc can also run melt comps, which are stronger than overload comps, but a bit harder to micro. Which is what does put Diluc a little bit above. But Keijing is amazing. She's the best longsword carry in the game. She's the best electro damage carry in the game. The thing that kind of holds back Keijing is that she doesn't synergize well with ice. Keijing more like Chaching, indeed. Keijing doesn't synergize well with ice because, again, ice and thunder creates superconductor. Superconductor reduces physical damage resistance. The problem is Keijing's E, once you hit level 40, Keijing's E makes the next 5 seconds of her auto attacks deal exclusively electro damage. This is great for reactions. Hey Trust, we're on stream by the way.
Yeah, we in stream.
So don't say anything against YouTube TOS basically.
Yeah, we on the YouTubes instead right now. And I'm on the Twitches still.
But yes, so Keijing is the best electro carry in the game. And so that makes her the best carry in the game if you're fighting fire immune monsters, because Diluc can't do shit against fire immune monsters, which is important in abyss floors because floors have different like elemental enemies on them, and you will run into fire floors, and you can't run Diluc against that floor. So like Keijing is the next best carry. She may become the best carry because there are rumors Diluc is getting nerfed in the next patch, but those are just rumors. And there's also rumors that Keijing is going to be getting buffed next patch, which I don't understand why. She doesn't need it. But if that is true, then Keijing will absolutely be the best carry in the game. With the exception of Abyss Floor 12, because it's a Pyro floor where Pyro damage does extra damage, Diluc will always be best there. But yeah. Oh,
are we in the tuner Discord? No, we're in our own Discord away.
We're in our shitter Discord.
Yeah, the shitter Discord because we can't be shitters in tuner Discord. Because everyone gets triggered over there.
Yep. Okay, anyway, yeah, Keijing, fantastic. And in my humble opinion, Keijing is so much more fun to play than Diluc. Also, another reason Keijing is really strong is that outside of combat, her E ability lets her teleport. And because she can teleport, this gives her a similar effect to Venti. She can climb, she can skip climbing sections, she can skip puzzles, she can get Animunculuses and Geoculuses that are slightly too high up without doing the puzzles just by teleporting to them. And on top of that, because her attack he can do a teleporting attack against enemies like golems or flower bosses who have a weak point above the ground, Keijing can throw a dagger at that weak point, dash to it for a burst of damage, and then drop attack it to basically break the weak point instantly. Which is really strong against those specific enemies with those kinds of weak points. It makes her probably the best character in the game to fight rune hunters, who are the floating golems who like shoot missiles at you and shit and fly off the ground. She's probably the best character in the game for fighting those because she can disable them so easily because her burst damage for hitting weak points is so much higher than an archer's. Yeah, so Keijing, fantastic. Double S tier. That's our double S tier. If you get any of these on your account roll, you should probably just keep the account. Frankly. Alright, let's move on to A tier. So A tier is going to switch up a bit too.
Okay, well...
Oh, S tier, sorry. Okay, so S tier is going to switch up a bit too because I learned some new things recently. Like Bennett is actually S tier, for example. Jean, definitely. Let's see here. Jean is definitely S tier. Mona is S tier.
Jinx, are we doing this in relation to Abyss Spiral or just general comp?
This is the reroll. This is the reroll tier list. So this is I got these characters. Should I keep this account? Should I do with them, or should I keep this account? Okay. Should I keep this account? Which is generally speaking means so here's like in Overworld, everything's you can clear the entire story content and all the content on the map with base characters. Like you don't need to have good characters to do that. The way that the base Overworld works is that everything's always lower level than you if you're maxing stuff out. So like you can run basically any team for the most part in Overworld and do fine. Oh, thank you Fenril for the €3.57. I really appreciate that. Let's take a second to... Let's see here.
Oh, no, not again.
Again, Danny.
We starting the stream, yo. We starting the water stream. We're gonna drip
Let's
feed
go.
them money.
Drip feed me the money for the Photoshop breaks.
So Eka is streaming. I'm going to drop money to Eka instead.
I'm okay with that. Support my friends. Alright, so we got...
I don't even have my notifications up.
Open recents. We need Until Whale. Alright, so... What does that convert to? $4.10 according to YouTube. So that's 38. We're at 38
because I still have to put the overlay over.
We're at 38.99. Yeah. And then we export that because I am a professional streamer who uses Photoshop instead of streamer tools.
Smile.
Smile. And then we add in Fenril. Thank you for the whale simps. Whale simp. Simp whale. Whale simp. Thank you for the money. Okay. And then we export this. Hey. Thank you for the whale.
Oh, that should be good.
Yep. All right. Cool. Oh, Google said 420. Well, I don't know why YouTube says 410. But yeah. You know what? We'll make it 420. Even if YouTube doesn't give me the 10 cents, I don't give a fuck. We're making it 420. So that's going to be 3909. Export that. Yeah, I don't care if YouTube says 410. That's 420 in my eyes.
It didn't show. I didn't get the notif either.
Boom. 420. All right. So, anyone else in
donate
8? Anyone else in S tier?
Russell underscore. Well, not say that on stream.
You know what?
Oh, you threw it through PayPal. That's why.
Well, you know what? Sucrose is bottom 8. Sucrose is bottom S tier. Purely because she's an Anemo caster with a pull effect. She's a discount Venti, but she's definitely S tier because Anemo is the most broken thing in endgame possible. Wind characters are busted in endgame. So like just purely because she's the next best Anemo character she's bottom S tier. I know a lot of people are gonna disagree with this, but when we're talking, if we are talking endgame, every single endgame team ideally wants to be running a Venti in one team and a Sucrose or Jean in the other one. So like, if you don't have Jean, Sucrose is absolutely like mandatory for end game comps because Viridescent Verdant is too powerful. Unless Viridescent Verdant gets nerfed or something, or we get a better like support set bonus, nothing competes with it. So real quick, for those of you who don't know why I'm mentioning that, Viridescent Verdant.
Yeah, it's in the panels in the bottom.
Am I spelling that right? I'm not spelling that right, am I?
Popping up in chat.
What? No, not even close.
Alright, well,
That's how you spell it.
I'll fix it later. Congratulations, you're in the 420 club, Smile.
Wait, is it Viridescent Verdant or is it Verdant? No, it's Verdant Veneer. It's Verdant Veneer, isn't it? Right? What the fuck is the name of this set bonus? I don't remember.
For which one?
God damn it. Artifacts. The wind one. I don't remember the name of the set bonus. Viridescent Veneer. Why do I keep calling it Verdant? I don't know. I guess it was green. Because it makes me think of green. Alright, yeah, sorry. So, Viridescent Veneer is the name. I'm sorry. So, Viridescent Veneer, look at this shit. Just read it.
I'm back.
This is disgusting.
Oh,
Hey, Tony.
Jinx on stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, we on stream now.
Right. Cool.
Just read that. A Nemo bonus damage 15%. Okay, that's cool. Swole damage 60%. That's a huge damage increase. Decreases opponent's elemental resistance to the element infused in the swole by 40% for 10 seconds. This is why Anemo characters are broken, because the moment you can get 1 to 2 4 sets of this, you've broken the game, damage-wise. Discombobulating name, it's because technically... It's because the reason why Diluc is rated higher is because Diluc is the single best character in the game for the final Abyss floor. So if you want to really get into the endgame gacha grind, Diluc is the single best character for that. You can replace Venti with Sucrose, Jean, or Wind MC. For Abyss 12, you can't replace Diluc for it. No one will get anything comparable to his DPS output in Abyss Floor 12. That's the only reason he's slightly better is for the end game. He is slightly higher on the rankings than Venti. However, Venti is a god.
Good loot strong.
Venera, if your Jean is your carry, it's still worth it. Like, yeah, if you're a carry on Jean, you probably want Gladiator set instead for auto attack damage. But this is too strong. Like, this is too strong not to use. So like, you would still probably use it on a carry Jean just to make your other character's elemental damage do more damage. Like, even though Gladiator is normally the ideal physical carry set. Awarely, we are currently making the tier list of who is worth rerolling for, actually. Probably put Bennett below Jean. Mona still sits right there. Sucrose is right below. Zhang Ling's gonna be A tier for sure. Jing Chao's kind of a meme. MC is A tier. Noelle is... We're making we're making a separate tier for Noelle.
Noelle's just guaranteed.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's just in the yes category.
12 says hello. Says hello. And rest of the game says goodbye.
Jesus.
Noelle gets her own category. Okay, yeah. Noelle gets her own category. I'll explain why later. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, no one else here is S tier. They're all A, all lower. Okay, so let's talk about S tier. So let's talk about S. And please keep in mind when it comes to like double S tier, they're all god rolls. The only one who I would say is lower valued as a reroll roll out of all of these is Fischl, and that's purely because she's a 4-star, so she's easier to get if you keep playing on an account. But in terms of like power rankings, I put her at 3rd best in the game, next to Deluc and Venti. So like any of the double S's, you keep that account. All of them are fantastic. They all synergize with a lot of different people that are easy to get. They all synergize decently with free-to-play characters, too. Like, every single one of these 5 synergize with free-to-play characters, so you don't even need anyone else to make a strong team with them. They are just above... They are cut above everyone else. Razor also synergizes really well with free-to-play characters, but he's slightly below in the end game compared to Deluc and Keijing. But yeah, we'll get into that. So, next off, S tier. So, Razor, top of S tier. He's the 2nd best 4-star in the game. Razor is the best physical damage carry in the game. Gladiator, 100% for Razor, because Razor is a physical damage carry who happens to deal some electro damage. So Razor is the best physical damage carry in the game. The reason for this is, A, he's a Claymore user. Claymore users have very high motion values per second. And on top of that, break shields faster than other characters, so they make fantastic physical carries. B, his ult gives him an attack speed steroid. That's the thing that makes him so strong as a physical damage carry, is that he gets an attack speed steroid from his ultimates. So his white numbers hit more often. C, Razor is Thunder. This means that if you pair Razor with a Chi-Chi or a Kaya as your sub-carry, their ice gives Superconductor. Superconductor makes your white numbers 30% bigger, roughly, give or take. 29 to 30%, we don't know the exact formula, it's around 30%. So now, Razor's physical damage is dealing 30% more damage for about 7 to 8 seconds on the target you triggered Superconductor with. Kaya and Chi-Chi give you Ice Orbital, so you're constantly proccing Superconductor on everything around you during Razor's ult. You're hitting shit for a lot of damage with physical damage. That's why we go with Gladiator sets, because it's the physical... Gladiator set is the best physical damage carry set in the game currently. Now, next up, so that's Razor. Razor's great. Razor is... If you want to just, like, burn through the entire game easily, without having to worry too much about optimizing your compositions and everything like that, Razor is the single best character for that. Because you take Razor, you take Kaya, and you fill your next 2 slots with whatever the fuck you want, and you can clear through, you can burn through the entire game, no problem. Because you will just be dealing crap loads of physical damage between Razor and Kaya ulting together. So, like, Razor is the single best, I just want to burn through this content easily character in the entire game. And he's very easy to get because he's a 4-star. Alright. Next up. Also, the only reason why Razor falls behind Deluc and Keijing as a carry is because the only way to reduce physical resistance currently in the game is Superconductor, which A doesn't work against enemies who which requires you to have a Chi-Chi for an optimal comp, and B, it means you can't use this shit. It means that the Viridescent Venera is not helping you as much. So that's the only thing, is that physical damage late game is slightly worse than elemental damage because Viridescent Venera exists. That's the only thing that kind of puts him behind the other two. But I mean, he's a 4-star, so whatever. Like, it's fine that he's not as good as the 5 stars. Next up, we have Jean. Jean is the second best healer in the game. So, second best healer slot in the game, and she fills an Anemo slot and a healer slot at the same time. So you can put her as your healer in your team and still use Viridescent Venera, which is dumb. Also, her E is, her regular ability, her E is a little weird because it creates anti-synergy sometimes because it does a heavy, like, knockback effect. It yeets people. And that can be bad because you can yeet people away from your other abilities' radiuses and have to chase them. So that can be bad, but as long as you're careful about your positioning with it, it's still a good ability. It's still big damage. It does a lot of damage for a single use E, and it's very spammable. And her ult just, it procs Swirl, so more damage. It heals your teammates inside of it, and it procs Viridescent Venera, which is the important part. So, yeah, ideal late game comps, because Abyss Power requires you to have 2 full teams stacked to clear the later levels, would be 1 team with a Venti Chi-Chi, 1 team with a Jean. That would be ideal for, like, endgame. But, yeah, Jean is great because she fills the healer slot and she fills the Anemo slot in your team late game. And if you want to run as a physical damage carry through the story, she's still good as well. She's still good as a physical damage carry, especially because... Am I on the right account? Yeah, this is the one time I'll probably show an in-game example because this shit is why Jean makes a good auto carry. I already did my commissions, didn't I? Yeah, I did.
You're supposed to do that before.
Yeah, I did do that before stream because, you know.
Yeah, it's
Pepe hands.
Take a while. Yeah.
This is good to like a random camp or something.
Chong Yun any good, by the way?
Yes, but he's we'll get to it, but yes, he is. Chong Yun is good. He's just not god tier, but he is good. And he might be god tier because I have to do more testing with him because the way he should work, he won't be god tier. But I want a small enemy. It's better with a small enemy. Hey, treasure chest. That's a puzzle chest. You're a big boy. Gib small and there we go. Small enemies. Hello, small enemies. So my Jean is stacked to be a support, so she's not going to do big damage numbers. But the reason why Jean as a physical carry can work so well is like, okay, you know, yeah, we just auto attack things. She's got decent damage on her DPS on her moveset is decent. She can heal when she hits level 40. She heals your team anytime 50% of the time she swings. But this is what makes Jean fun as a carry. Oh shit! I'm out of energy. I'm out of stamina. 1 sec. You need it's a charge attack. I need stamina. Hello, Archer boy. Fuck you! No cooldown. Crowd control for the enemies. Alright, I'm gonna go kill this guy now. Bop, 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 bop. This is what makes it so much fun as like an overworld carry, is you have a no cooldown CC on your charge, you just need stamina to use it. And then of course you can, you know, suck people and fucking yeet them. Like, she is not a top tier carry, and we'll get into that because I'm gonna do a carry tier list in the stream, but she is a very fun overworld carry because she has built-in CC. And she heals your team while she hits things. So, yeah, that's Jean. So, yeah, that's Jean. Very good character. If you get a Jean, keep the account. Next up is Bennett. Next is Bennett. I originally put Bennett in, like, trash/A tier because I didn't realize what his level 70 looked like.
/A tier.
Well, okay, because Bennett is specifically a god with a Dayluk comp. Like, a Dayluk Bennett team is extremely strong. Because he can fill the healer slot as kind of a cope healer, because he can only heal your teammates up to 70% health, but it's still technically healing, and can fill a healer slot in a team. But here's the thing. Bennett at level 70 is, like, almost at Dayluk level damage. Bennett at level. I don't have Bennett on this account, so I can't really. So I can't show you, but I'll just look him up in the wiki so you can see what his ability is. When Bennett hits level 70, he becomes one of the god tier carries in the game. You don't even need con 1 on him necessarily, but if you hit level... The thing about Bennett is Bennett's a god when he hits level 70. Because when he hits level 70, he gets Fear Not. Fear Not. When inside of Fantastic Voyage, that's your ult. When you're inside of your ult circle, your E, your Passion Overload, your regular skill, is reduced by 50% cooldown, and you cannot be launched by it. This lets you use your tap E every 2.5 seconds during your ult. And just so you know, Passion Overload's base motion value for your tap E is 138%. By comparison, Diluc's base damage or motion value for his first E in his 3-hit E combo is only 94.9%. This hits harder than the Diluc's E's, and you can use it every 2.5 seconds at level 70 during your ults. So when you hit level 70, Bennett suddenly becomes one of the top tier carries in the game, and also makes a top tier support for Diluc specifically. But before level 70, he's like A tier. Before level 70, he's decent. Level 70, during his ult, you run a double fire comp, so he gets his ult up very quickly. Running Bennett in a double fire comp, so probably Bennett plus Zhang Ling. Bennett as carry, Zhang Ling as like your support. And then like, I don't know, Fischl as your sub carrier for overload procs. Bennett is good. He's about A tier. Like, if you're not level 70 yet, he's A tier, probably mid A tier. But the moment you get to level 70, he is S, arguably double S tier. I'm gonna leave him an S for now because he's not good until 70. Until 70, he's good, but he's not good enough yet. But Bennett at level 70 is a god carry as long as you can spam his ult and fight inside of his ult. So yeah, that's Bennett. Next up, Mona. Mona is a fantastic support. She's a pretty good elemental range carry. The only problem is she's water, and water is the weakest elemental reactions in terms of damage output. But she is like at least A or low S tier as a ranged carry. But her best thing about Mona is she's a support because she has CC in the form of a taunt on her E, and her ult, if you use it properly, gives your carry 4 seconds of 40% extra total damage, which is very strong, but you have to be careful because it's very easy to accidentally burn the buff early and waste some of those precious 4 seconds. But she's a very strong support. She's a pretty decent range carry too, as a water elemental carry specifically, like run it with Fischl or Beidou for like a water elemental carries with electroshock spamming sort of thing. Very solid character, very strong support. The big thing holding Mona back is she's water element, and water's the worst element in the game next to Geo. But Mona, very solid, definitely worth keeping an account for her. Finally, Sucrose. Sucrose before you get where is it? Boop, boop, boop. So before you get Viridescent Venera, Sucrose is like, I don't know, mid A tier. Let's just say mid A tier. She's good. Viridescent Venera. Before you get Viridescent Venera artifact set, she's like mid A tier, maybe low A tier. She's pretty good. But the moment you get it, she's suddenly S tier, because there are only 4 characters that can use Viridescent Venera, and the Wind MC is not great at it. Because the problem with the Wind MC is that her swirls knock people away. So you have to pop your E or your ult and then chase them to deal damage. Sucrose sucks. The suck in Sucrose is for her sucks. Her ability is just like Venti, suck enemies into a center, which gathers them for you to do mass AoE damage with the Viridescent Venera bonus on top of that, and just like melt a room basically. That's what's really good about her. The problem is that her cooldowns are just longer than Venti's. That's the only thing. Sucrose is literally
Yes,
discount
Mario.
Venti. Sucrose is just discount Venti. Venti is just a better Sucrose in every way, basically. But, silver medal at the Olympics is still at the Olympics, basically. So that's Sucrose. The main advantage Sucrose has over Venti is that she is a catalyst user, so she can use Thrilling Tales of the Dragon Slayer. And Thrilling Tales of the Dragon Slayer gives you a very useful support effect on it. That when you switch from Sucrose to your carry, they get 48% base attack for 10 seconds, which is good, but does not make up the damage difference between Sucrose and Venti. But it is good. It is definitely good, and it covers the gap a little bit. Anyway, Sucrose, mid A tier until you get the Veritas and Venera set, and then suddenly she's S tier. Either way, worth keeping. Alright, A tier. Chong Yun. Definitely Zhang Ling. In fact, Zhang Ling's above Chong Yun. I hesitate to put Beidou in it because she has like one good synergy. Maybe two. Barbara, because she's the only other healer. Barbara is definitely an A tier because you need a healer, but she's also free, so it doesn't really matter. You know what? Let's make a... I'm free and you don't care about my constellation
Yeah, just put her in the well.
duplicates. Exactly, because that is real talk, like... Really? Oh, constellation's too big to fit in there. I'll have to just misspell it.
Barbara is free as soon as you reach adventure rank 20.
Yeah, Barbara's free when you hit 20, so like since this is a reroll list, she is A tier, but she's a reroll. You don't need spare Barbaras. You only need like one copy of Barbara. The constellations don't matter on Barbara really, so they're not really worth it. So like rolling a Barbara is actually arguably a bad thing in your gacha rolls because you're gonna get a free one anyway.
Same exact thing with like Zhang Ling.
Well, Zhang Ling's constellations are really good.
She's strong.
Yeah, but she pops up way too often during those banners. The problem.
No, Hayaka, she pops up too much for you.
Yeah, she does. I already have 7 of them.
Constellation 6 Zhang Ling is a fucking murder machine.
Yeah. I just wish I had something else, though.
Hydro is the worst element because it has the worst elemental reactions. The fire, electro, and ice reactions just do more damage, basically. They produce more DPS for your team compared to water. Let me turn the fan on. Ooh, it's toasty. It's toasted. Kaya is definitely an A tier, but he's in a duplicate spot.
He's a starting character, so you should just be putting him at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like, starters should just be a different tier entirely.
Except Amber. Amber goes on the fucking bottom.
Yeah, you're right.
First in, first out.
You're right. Definitely Amber goes to the bottom because KEKW Amber. I don't know why they made her so bad. Like, I know it's a meme, and I laugh at it, and I laugh at the fact that you maxed out your Amber hiker, but like, I genuinely don't understand. I genuinely don't even understand why she's so unstacked, like, compared to the other characters. Like,
Yeah.
every other starter character is better.
Yeah, her kit's just bad. Like, really bad. Like, there's one part in her constellation where you can remote detonate her, or manually detonate her decoy, but even then, you have to have Constellation 4 for it.
I'm torn on whether to put Ning in A or top B. Because she's my favorite character to play and I'm biased.
Ningguang?
And you can make her work in a comp. It's just very
well,
weird.
You have to keep it in rerolls terms, so...
Yeah.
When you start out with a
you know what?
You want to keep her.
Yes, you do, actually. If you start with a Ningguang, yes. Because the only thing about Ningguang is that her only purpose in the Abyss floor is to be part of a Noel comp for floor 12. She's not good in the Abyss comp, but she is good otherwise, and potentially will become very good when Zhang Ling comes out. So I would put her dead last in A.
and just-
Jing Chao is really the only B tier, along with like a Nemo Traveler.
Because like the way I think about it is that since we're doing reroll account tier listing, if you don't have a Razor but you have a Ningguang, they'll be just as good. That's
Yeah.
in terms of starting out.
As starting out, yeah, I can see that. Ning is good. She just lacks late game synergies outside of a Noelle comp. But in a Noelle comp, so she's similar to Noelle in that she is basically almost like if you like Ning is not quite mandatory but heavily desired in a final Abyss floor comp because the Noelle comp exists. And she is otherwise strong, she's just not like god tier. Because of the fact that she's Geo. That's the only thing holding her back is that she's Geo. So we'll put her at bottom of A because frankly the only B tier character right now is Jing Chao. There's just he's lackluster. Oh yeah, no, Jose's correct. C6 Ning. If you get a C6 Ning is a god. That is that would drop her up to like S tier carry if you have a C6, but she needs the C6 is the problem.
Yeah, we're speaking in terms of just getting
For
characters
rerolls.
for the first times. Yeah.
Okay, cool. These look good. This looks good. I know that the MCs are like the MCs don't care for rerolls, but I'm gonna put them in there just to give like a power level difference
Like a
understanding,
general
I guess.
basis, like
yeah,
control.
like a control points, cause yeah, this works. Okay, this is good. Okay, because honestly, Beidou and Ning are both worth keeping if you find one. They're just not super great by themselves. Okay, so the big thing about a Ning too is that if you roll a Ning, you can actually genuinely run a Noelle comp through the entire game if you have a Ning, but you need a Ning for it really. Okay, so let's go over these. Zhang Ling. Zhang Ling is top of A tier. I'm very tempted to put her at bottom of S tier, honestly, but she's not quite there. Because the thing that would otherwise, if Bennett wasn't so much better as a fire slots for a double fire comp, then Zhang Ling would be up there. But Bennett's better for a double fire comp, and Zhang Ling is specifically strong synergy with Keijing. What's it? You drop down your bear, your guaba, you drop down your ults, you switch to Keijing, you jump into the enemies, and everything starts exploding constantly. Because you're just getting so many electro and fire procs at the same time. So like she's specifically very powerful as a sub carry for Keijing. She is also very powerful as a sub carry for Daeluke if you don't have a level 70 Bennett. Well, actually, that's a lie. If you have a level 70 Bennett, you can run him as carry instead of Daeluke even, so like a Bennett Zhang Ling combo is actually really strong too. So yeah, like Zhang Ling synergizes really well with a lot of the top characters in the game, but she does not synergize with any of the base characters well. And that's the main thing holding her back from being an S tier. All of these S tier characters and double S tier characters will synergize. If you get just one of these and have only base characters, they will have a strong synergy. Zhang Ling does not. She does not synergize well with any of the base characters is the problem. So that's the only thing holding Zhang Ling back is that she needs another one of these top tiers to synergize with basically. To like reach her potential. That's the only thing. So Zhang Ling, very powerful. She's an alright carry. Like, if you don't have Daeluke, you don't have Keijing, you don't have Fischl, you don't have Fischl with Constellation 1 specifically. Base Fischl is worse than Zhang Ling as a carry. You don't have Razor, you don't have Bennett, you don't have Jean, and you don't have Mona coupled with Official, because Mona specifically needs like Official or a Beidou to really have strong carry. Then Zhang Ling is a good carry option to just auto attack with her spear. But her ideal role is being a sub carry. She is a fantastic sub carry with Daeluke, with Official, with Keijing, with Razor. Kaya's better, but it still works with Razor. With Bennett as your carry, like she synergizes as a sub carry for basically every one of the good carries in the game. So that's what makes Zhang Ling so good, is that she is the best at just adding fire element procs to your carry. Chong Yun. Chong Yun should be S tier, but he has built-in anti-synergy, which kind of sucks. Actually, Heike, you have a Chong Yun account. You have a Chong Yun account, don't you?
Nope. I'm the
fuck.
one that has it.
Do you want it?
No. Can you test something for me real quick?
Yeah, let me build up my character.
You don't even need that level up. Grab Chong Yun and grab Chong Yun and Lisa. That's all you need.
And Lisa?
Yeah, Chong Yun and Lisa.
Okay. Fight something?
Yeah, find something relatively easy to hit so you don't have to worry about getting hurt. What I need you to do is I need you to you go to the enemy, use Chong Yun's E, hit them once, then switch to Lisa, hit them with a single E to trigger Superconductor, and then switch back to Chong Yun and hit them again and see if the damage number goes up.
When you say E, do you mean like R2?
R2, sorry, yeah.
Yes.
Your regular ability.
Okay.
Yeah, your regular ability.
With the
So
other
basically, I need you to hit him with his ice type melee attack.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I just
Um,
need it. So give me a second.
yeah, because he should be doing cryo damage. You're correct, Jose. That's why that's why he has anti-synergy, is because he deals cryo and not physical, so Superconductor shouldn't work with him. But I have never tested it to see if they made an exception for him. That's the only problem. I don't know if he has an exception case.
Does any character have an exception case?
Not that I know of, but I don't want to assume there isn't one until I've tested it, you know?
Okay.
Alright, thanks, Tony. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I'm just looking for enemies. And I spawned in the wrong place. What's a good place to spawn? Right here.
Yeah, generally I just go on top of a mountain and fly down, because I can just, like, look at the ground and see enemies. If I'm trying to find, like, a camp for something. But yeah, if you go towards those barrels, you should find someone.
Sorry, stream. Oh, I got somebody.
I'm doing well, Chaos. We're just doing a quick test because I'm 90% sure... Okay, perfect, yeah. So, use your regular
R2?
ability. Yeah, R2 or whatever the one is. Alright, hit him once with your auto attack. Oh, no, I need you to hit them once with the auto first. Okay, so that's 38. So we know it's 38 with Superconductor. Now it hits... Now wait, like, a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And use your R2 again when he comes down. Alright, use your R2 again. His Superconductor's down, hit again. No, do not use Leech, just hit him, No, with Chong Yun, just hit him! Jesus Christ, Perry, just press fucking... Thank you, okay.
Sorry, man. Don't put me on the spot.
It's okay, we've tested it, that's all we need to know, thanks, Tony. I do appreciate it, because I don't have a Chong Yun account. Alright, cool, so we confirmed it. Yeah, Chong Yun has built-in anti-synergy. The best elemental reaction for ice is Superconductor. He's not bad, he just lacks the same synergy. He basically does the job of Razor worse. Like, he does Razor's job slightly worse, but he still does Razor's job. Again, silver in the Olympics, still in the Olympics. He does Razor's job worse, and he does Kaya's job worse as a sub-carry. So he's, like, kind of stuck in a place where Kaya does a better job than him if you use Kaya as your sub-carry for, like, Razor or Keijing or Daeluke or whatever. And Chong Yun does worse than Razor for the same comp that you would run on Razor. Shatter is good, but they also have increased physical resistance. Oh wait, that's right. He's supposed to be for a Frozen comp because he shatters and Frozen's physical resistance doesn't affect him. Tony, can you test something else for me real quick?
What's the party comp?
Can you grab Chong Yun and you have Barbara, right?
I do have Barber.
Oh, you have Mona. Mona works as well too. Yeah, doesn't matter. Either one's work. Either one's good.
Mona. And what am I doing? Chong Yun, Barber.
Chong Yun, Barbara. Just Chong Yun, Barbara's fine.
Let me find some more enemies.
Cool. Pop your stream up so I can take a look at the numbers. Bench appetite, exactly. It's because of Superconductor, and raises the best physical damage carry in the game. So, Superconductor is... If your Razor's stacked, generally speaking, Superconductor should give you more damage output than using Zhang Ling for overloads. But that's specifically for Razor because he's the best physical damage character in the game. Alright. Watch Tony's stream.
Oh wait, it's raining too. So
That's actually, yes, that works too. So yeah, basically just go with Chong Yun and pop your R2 and just start swinging on something. And I'll basically get what I need out of knowing that.
Oh, there we go. Barbara is stopped raining, so R2, right?
Yeah, and then switch to Chong Yun. And pop your E and just swing on them. Frozen. Alright, so you're frozen now? He's frozen.
Okay.
Keep swinging. Just keep swinging. Swing rapidly. I need to see rapid numbers. One more time. She's already wet. Just switch to Chong Yun. Okay. And then...
Oh, fucking damn it.
Tony Best Tester.
Yeah, you know how Asterix felt.
Okay, so don't wet him yet. Don't wet him yet. Oh, too late. Okay, yeah, it's fine. We'll just get a value damage for wet damage. Just swing once. Pop your E and swing once. Oh, pop your R2. Now swing him once. Now swing him again. That's 37. Still 37. So yes, confirmed. Chong Yun's supposed to run a freeze comp. That makes more sense. Because you can get shatter damage. Okay, yeah, so Chong Yun can do a freeze shatter comp pretty well, which is good. The only problem is you have to run water in the team, which kind of hurts your comp a bit. And that's innately weaker than a superconductor team. Which again makes Chong Yun basically just a slightly worse Razor for DPS output, but better for crowd control because he's freezing everything around him. No, there is not a way to farm when you run out of resin. You have to just either wait or use fragile resins or spend money on more fragile resins.
That's where the gotcha stamina system kicks in.
Yep. I mean, Sid, it's kind of close between Razor and Chong Yun. It's just a matter of, physical superconductor team is better than a freeze team. But anyway, moving on. So, yeah, the way it works with Chong Yun specifically synergizes well with Jing Chao because it means you can freeze every enemy around you constantly. He also synergizes really well with Mona as a sub carry to Chong Yun because Mona can use a charge attack to get everything around you wet, and then he just freezes all of them. And so here's the thing about freeze. Freeze is normally bad for DPS output because when an enemy is frozen, they take about 40%, I believe, less physical damage. But Chong Yun doesn't deal physical damage, he deals ice damage. So he doesn't get a negative, but he gets to CC his opponents. He gets to crowd control his opponents by freezing them. And if you damage them enough during the frozen proc to break them, you deal a burst of extra damage because you'll do what's called shattering them. So that is a Chong Yun comp, is generally running Barbara or Jing Chao. Well, ideally Jing Chao or Mona, but Barbara also works. Basically, you switch to Barbara, pop your E, switch to Chong Yun, and any enemy that touches you physically, like gets close enough to hug you, will get wet and therefore frozen by your auto attacks. And then you basically just beat the shit out of them with ice damage. He's the best ice carry in the game. It's just that ice carries aren't as strong as the other carries. Fire and electro carries are just stronger. And physical is slightly stronger than ice because shatter damage is nice. It's not as nice as 30% extra physical damage all the time. And he doesn't do well with an ice electro comp either because when you superconduct someone, Razor gets 30% more normal damage. Chong Yun can't deal normal damage, so he doesn't get a damage bonus from superconductor. So Chong Yun is strong. He is the strongest ice carry. He is the ideal carry for a freezing comp. But freezing comps are just weaker than the other compositions, basically. So Chong Yun's good. He's just not as good as the higher damage options. But yeah,
Oh,
solid
what
carry.
Hang on, there's a thing here that says female traveler over male traveler. It's because of... What was it? It was because of attack?
Females and emo, but also yes. Technically, female traveler actually swings slightly faster.
Slightly for some
it's
reason,
like sub 5% faster or something, but she does have faster attack animations than male traveler.
Yeah, which is really weird.
But male traveler is taller, so he runs and climbs faster.
Mm-hmm.
Also, in this case, next up, female traveler. This is we just explained female traveler technically does more DPS than male traveler, but also
we're just using them as elementals.
Yeah, but in this case, this is a wind traveler. This is an Anemo MC. So Anemo main character, Wind's main character, very strong, perfect filler unit if you don't have a full composition. Like, let's say we have Chong Yun, Barbara, and like Kaya as a double ice comp.
Yes, actually.
What's up?
Huh? Saying how it's like...
Oh yes, like Dragon's Dogma. I forgot about that. Body size does matter, which is why I ran the shortest possible lolly with a great sword build in Dragon's Dogma. In order to be able to speed up my attack animations. But yeah, also because it's funny to play a fucking 5 foot tall person with a great sword twice your size. But yeah, okay, so anyway, Anemo, so the Anemo MC is a great filler character. If you don't have a good fourth character to put into your comp, you can just slap an Anemo MC and it's more damage. That simple. Like, Anemo MC, Wind MC is fantastic, because Swirl is fantastic, because her ult is also good at damage, as well as provides CC. It does admittedly provide CC that pushes people away from you, so you have to be careful about that, but either way, it's still CC. Wind Traveler is just a great fill-in slot. And yes, you don't roll Wind Traveler, you just get her, and you just get constellations doing the story missions, but this is more, she's here to act as a benchmark. She's more here as a benchmark. Oh, thank you again, the Phoenix Down, for the 5 New Zealand dollars, which brings us up to 7.4, which means that's another $3.30. Thank you. What if you use Fish plus Chi-Chi that procs Superconductor for Chong, or are you better off using Frieza? The problem is, Phoenix Down, even if Fish plus Chi-Chi does proc Superconductor, which is good, the problem is, Chong Yun doesn't get a damage bonus from Superconductor. So you still get the AoE damage of proccing Superconductor, which is good. It's still free AoE damage. But he doesn't get a damage bonus on his auto attacks against targets that got hit by Superconductor, because he doesn't deal physical damage. He deals ice damage with his auto attacks when he's inside of his E. So just by that nature, he's worse than Razor at using Superconductor, because Razor gets 30% more physical damage. It's still good. It's still free AoE damage to use Superconductor, but it's worse than Razor. Is all it comes down to. But thank you so much again, the Phoenix Down. We need to now update the thing.
Yeah. Alright, later, Danny. Also, yeah. The
Bye,
Resident
Danny.
Mechanic, it's only there because of the fact that it is, 1, a free-to-play game, and 2, it's a gacha game.
Yeah, it's a gacha game, and it's free to play, so that's why the rest of the mechanic exists.
Yeah, it's literally there to make money.
42.39. Nice. Export that,
Because, like,
and Phoenix
if
Down
you're
is
at Red, just go
already
ahead and
on
play
the Waifu
side quests and
Whalers.
stuff.
Yeah, Phoenix Down is already on the Waifu Whalers, so we don't need to edit the other one. Cool.
Yeah.
Photoshop stream. Alright, cancel that. I should keep this open just in case. Makes it faster. Alright, back to the tier list. So yeah, Anemo MC, really good. So Old Tom, Chong and Razor on the same team is good, except for Kaya does Chong's job better as a sub carry. Because he can proc more he can proc more superconductors, because his ultimate is a constant orbital of ice damage. So Kaya does Chong's job better as a sub carry, but if you don't want to run Kaya, you can run Chong Yun just fine. And also, you can run... Also, Chong Yun opens up a double ice comp for Razor, which is really good, because double ice comp gives Razor 50% more crit chance. So, you run a Razor, You run a Kaya as your sub carry. You run Chong Yun because having 2 ice characters gives you 15% more crit damage, or crit chance, sorry, on anything that is affected by ice currently. And then you run whatever 4th slot you want. You can run Barbara for healing. Ideal will be Fischl for more energy gen and for some extra superconductor procs. But 4th slots, whatever you want. You can run Venti, Sucrose, Wind MC, whatever. But that would give you more damage on your Razor if you ran both Chong Yun and Kaya for the Elemental Resonance bonus. But yeah, anyway. Moving on, Beidou. So, Beidou is kind of lackluster, but she's specifically really good with Daeluke or Bennett. But if you don't have Daeluke, Bennett, or Mona, she's lackluster. And the problem is Fischl does her job, but way better, basically. Beidou, I love Beidou. She's one of my top waifus in the game, by far. I love her. She's a drunken pirate, basically. But technically, she's a Navy commander, but drunken pirate sounds funnier. Beidou is lackluster because her parry is really cool, but she's a bad carry. She's a pretty low tier carry, and using her she's fun to switch to parry attacks that are coming into, doing a big chunk of damage and switching off. She's good for that. She generates energy pretty fast because her E is only a 7-second cooldown. Her ult is why Beidou is good though, which is because her ult is transferable, so you can switch off of Beidou onto Daeluke or Bennett, and one auto attack every second, once per second, will deal a chain lightning effects, so you get constant overload procs. The only problem is Fischl already does this for you, and she does other stuff better. So that's the only thing about Beidou, is Beidou is really good if you don't have a Fischl and you have a Bennett or a Daeluke or a Zhang Ling as your carry. She specifically synergizes really well with them. Or if you have a Razor as your carry, she also synergizes with... Oh, not Razor, sorry. If you have a Chong Yun as your carry, you can use that plus Water to get you Superconductor and... freeze procs, which is pretty nice. Chain Lightning's cool. But Beidou's job is just done better by Fischl, which kind of pushes her down a lot, and she doesn't do any other job well. She's only really good as a sub carry. So, Beidou is good, but not that great. Yes, Bionic. The... Beidou is best with Elemental Recharge and Elemental Mastery because she's a sub carry who just wants to spam her ult. That's the perfect way to build her. Alright, next up, Ning. I love Ning. Ning is my favorite character to play this entire game, but she's fucking Geo. So you remember how we've been talking about all of these, hey, if you use Razor with Ice, you get, Superconductor, which deals AoE damage, and then gives you a debuff that gives a debuff that makes you deal 30% more physical damage. Or use Daeluke or Bennett with, a Beidou or a Fischl, and you get big explosions for burst damage every single swing, because you get overload procs. So all of these elemental reactions give you extra damage in some way or another. When Ning makes an elemental reaction, she gives you a fucking shield.
That's it.
That's it.
Hey, Sai.
Hey, Sai.
Hello.
When Ning makes an elemental reaction, she just drops a fucking shield. That's it. But she's so much fun to play, and her actual personal DPS is really high. If you were not to switch off onto other characters and just play one character, Ning is top tier in DPS output. But she drops shields instead of free damage. Wilts, double Geo already does that, and it still doesn't catch up. Running a double Geo team, so running a Ningguang with Earth MC or a Ningguang with Noelle, gives you a 15% damage bonus when you're shielded, and it still doesn't catch up is the problem. And that's why she's still A tier, because the double Geo comp is good. It's just not as good as any other elemental-based comp in the game. Also, Wilt, there are rumors that the new Earth character, new Geo character coming out, Zhang Ling, does do that, which is why I have her on bottom of A right now, because she should be a B tier character. But if Zhang Ling is the way that they are saying that rumors are saying he's gonna be, she will probably jump up to top of A or bottom of S. Because the only issue with Ningguang, her ultimate destroys the entire fucking room. Her auto attacks, her 3 auto attack into charge attack combo is a shitload of damage. Her only issue is she's Geo. And she's so much fun to play. But yeah, that's Ningguang. I would say hold on to her because she's really strong by herself. She doesn't need synergies to be strong because she doesn't synergize with people because she's Geo. Thank you so much, Caboose901, for the super chat for $5. If you have Fischl, Razor, Chi-Chi, Venti, and Fischl, does Chi-Chi make enough ice for Razor? Absolutely. Yes. Chi-Chi does make enough ice by herself for Razor. That is actually Razor, Chi-Chi, Venti, Fischl is probably the most ideal Razor comp you can get for physical damage. Yeah. That's probably
I'd say Kaya over Venti. Crit.
You're right. But Swirl.
I know.
But Swirl. Yeah, you're right.
Swirl is for cryo resist or electro resist, and you're not doing a lot of physical.
You're right. Okay, yeah. Cyclops, right? That is okay. That is like one of the two best comps. Venti's still good, but technically Kaya would make your damage higher, because Kaya plus Chi-Chi. No wait, actually no, not Kaya. Chong Yun. Chong Yun
would contest with the physical damage if you're going for a physical build, because it overwrites. It makes Razor's attack.
I thought it only overwrites Chong Yun's, not any characters.
It's anyone in that field.
Wait, anyone? I thought it was just Chong Yun. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Huh.
Pull it up real fast.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up too.
Me, Doper, and Port and Sniper were messing around, and we were walking across the ocean.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You need me to test something? I don't have a Razor.
I mean, you can just go to a Chong Yun account and test it out right now.
Yeah.
But it's any melee in that field.
Yeah, just use any melee character inside of Chong Yun's E and see if it Fuck, you're right. It's any melee character will convert the cryo damage.
Okay, so it doesn't matter.
I genuinely thought it was just Chong Yun. Okay, never mind. Chong Yun's a terrible sub carry.
Yeah. In that specific comp, it kind of hurts.
Yeah, never mind. So yeah, Kaya. The replacing Venti with Kaya would technically give you more damage on Razor. It would stack Razor higher because now you're getting a 15% extra crit chance from double ice. That being said, I would say still run Venti because you get CC. But technically the higher damage comp is running double ice instead of Venti. Because even with Viridescent Venera, it won't reduce your physical resistance, so it's not useful to you. You would get more damage out of running double ice even late game. JL Endrix, Noelle is free for one thing, you're guaranteed to get her, and Noelle is strong if you build a comp specifically around her. She has to have an energy generation comp to be good, which means you generally run Noelle plus your main character with the Geo elements plus Ningguang plus Fischl. That's generally how you build an energy gen comp for Noelle, and you just basically, everyone's job is to just spam their abilities and get Noelle energy so she can use her ult. Because she can't generate her own energy, and it's an 80 cost ult, which is the highest in the game. Anyway, Caboose901, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's add you to the lists.
Hey, thank you for the donation, guys.
Thank you so much for adding to the whale. Alright, Caboose901, save. Added to the waifu whalers. Gonna have to make this box bigger soon.
Next thing you know, you're just gonna have the entire box just go across down
the entire,
screen.
just down the entire. I'm gonna have to stop using Photoshop and use Premiere instead, so I can use a scrolling box. Or I could use Stream Elements.
Do the tick box.
Or I could use Stream Elements.
Yeah,
my way sounds more fun.
Yeah, but it's more complicated.
So it's more fun.
Christ.
Things makes everything so much harder than it needs to be.
Alright, 47:39. We're almost halfway to the big screaming so my neighbors get annoyed wail that's gonna happen. Alright. My walls are pretty thin. I'm pretty sure my neighbors can hear me when I'm like shouting.
Oh.
Because we can hear the TV when they're playing it.
Ah. That's the TV.
All right. So yeah, that's Ning. Ning is really good in a Noelle comp. Ning enables a Noelle comp much more strongly because she's also Geo, so she generates extra energy for Noelle and acts as a very good burst support for Noelle. Because, you know, she can just pop her abilities and throw a big chunk of damage out while Noelle's trying to get her ult back up. But Ning as a carry is strong, except for everything else is stronger. Basically. Alright. Which is sad, because Ning is my waifu. I love Ning. Ning is, like, Ning and Keijing are, like, my top 2 in the game for gameplay and just as waifu. But anyway. B tier is Geo MC, because Geo MC is kinda bad. Because there's 2 reasons. A, Geo sucks. B, do I have my Geo MC on this character right now? On this account right now? My Geo will win right now. Let's go to Geo real quick, just so I can show you what's bad about Geo. Because this needs this is better with an example. I'll just cut this example out of the video or something when I make it. All right, Geo MC. I was running Wind MC for Abyss. That's why it's on Wind right now. Resonate with Geo. All right. So, yeah. Boom, boom. We're fighting stuff, right? Boom, boom. Things being fine. Gonna do some burst damage. It does pretty good burst damage. It's only a 6-second cooldown. This is really fast energy generation and damage. Okay, boom. We're gonna drop another one down. Sweet. Okay. Oh, man. He's gonna hit me. Dodge. Oh, fuck. I'm climbing. Fuck. Where's my X button? Jump off. Hit things again. Time to dodge. Oh, God. I'm climbing again. Do some more burst damage. Oh man, I'm gonna fight things. Yeah, I'm gonna chase this guy over here. Fuck, I'm climbing again. God damn it. That's why GeoMC's bad. You're gonna accidentally climb so fucking much when you play GeoMC. It's annoying as hell.
With that extra damage you get for dropping it on people.
Kek.
The guillotine effect.
Kek.
See, if they fix it, she'd be really good.
Yes. If you didn't automatically climb when you dashed into an object, she'd be good. But you do, so she's not.
We dreamed the rumors hold true then.
Yeah, that is a rumor. There is a rumor that they're gonna fix that next patch, and we pray to our gacha gods. We simp and wail for our gacha gods to give that to us.
Oh, the potential of having a manual climb.
Yeah, no, people
You
have
can't climb in combat.
Yeah, there's been is the room. You can't climb in combats unless I assume it would be unless you jump at the thing or something like that.
Fuck, I still fail because I use jump to cancel.
Oh, you jump cancel? That's right. You jump cancel your autos. Oof.
I didn't have a lot of stamina.
It's true.
I didn't have a lot of stamina early game, so I had
True. Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, okay, so that's GeoMC. GeoMC is specifically good in Noelle comp, though. Because GeoMC gives more energy to Noelle. And Noelle just needs to spam her ult, basically. And she's really strong if you spam her ult. But you gotta spam her ult. Jing Chao. Jing Chao is, in my humble opinion, this will vary from person to person, he is currently the worst role to get in the game, other than one of these I'm free, don't care about my duplicate characters. Other than the base characters, and the free ones like Barbara, the free ones you don't care about dupes like Noelle and Barbara, he is the worst possible one for you to roll right now, because he has good synergy with a lot of different carries, but water element sucks. And that's about it. His job is to be a sub carry for your carry because he procs water on every single one of your attacks. The only problem is if you substitute water for ice, or fire, or electro, it's basically always better. The only thing he is technically better than would be a Geo on hit, which doesn't exist. So yeah, he is just the worst in the game currently because water sucks. Water is the worst element in the game. He would be otherwise really good because his E gives you damage and stagger resistance, which is really good if you want to just like unga bunga through enemies and like, you know, soak hits and keep your combos going. His ults is really good, but it charges really slow because his E is only a 20-second cooldown, so you need like a second water character like Barbara or Mona to help with charging his ult. But his ult charge is really slow, but when it's active, it's really good because it does like very good amounts of water application in slight AoE every single time you hit, which lets you do reaction combos with like a Razor or a Keijing. But that being said, water reaction damage is just the worst in the game. That's what it comes down to. He is a good sub carry, he's just water is the problem. So and he's still good. If you roll anything in the first 2 tiers with a Jing Chao, keep the account. He doesn't drag down your account. He's just not worth keeping as like he's just not worth it if he's the only thing you get. So yeah. That's just it. He's just water. That's the only problem with Jing Chao. He is water. And water is the worst element in the game, next to Geo. So yeah. As for the next category, Noelle, Barbara, Kaya, and Lisa are all free. You don't have to roll them. Noelle's guaranteed on your first beginner banner roll. Barbara, you get adventure rank 20, and Kaya and Lisa as well are free characters. Kaya, if Kaya wasn't a free character, he'd be like right here, probably. He'd be like A tier right here, but he's a free character, and Kaya's constellations aren't good enough to warrant keeping an account that got Kaya constellations if you didn't get like an S or double S tier character. The reason Zhang Ling is also free, but Zhang Ling constellations are fantastic. Every single one of Zhang Ling's constellations from getting duplicates are fantastic, and you should keep them. So that's why she's up here. But yeah, the rest of these, you don't care about the constellations that much, so they're just not really worth keeping the account, unless you also got a double S or an S tier character there with the roll. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Zhao and Clay aren't out yet. So I'll judge them when they come out, because yes, I know there's leaks. Yes, I know that movesets and everything have been seen in the beta. Yes, I know that the beta damage numbers and values are all known, but that was the beta. Until the official release versions come out, I'm not going to make any judgments on them. But being that they're both 5 stars, they're either going to be here or here. Like, they're either going to be double S or S regardless, because they're 5 stars. But, like, I'm not going to make any judgments yet. And then Amber is emergency food. I don't care. Okay, if you rolled Deluc, Venti, Fischl, and Chi-Chi in your brand new accounts, and you roll an Amber duplicate, you fucking delete it. Because you're permanently cursed by having an Amber duplicate.
If anything, just give them to me.
Give it to Heike. But yeah, okay, so that's the first tier list. We are an hour 30 in. Fuck my life. We'll go through the rest faster. So this is the reroll tier list. Basically, if you are going, hey, I made a new account, or hey, is my account any good? Refer to this tier list. I would say if you have at least one double S or S, keep the account. If you have at least 2 A's and no S or double S, keep the accounts. If you roll just Jing Chao, delete your account. Okay, moving on. Next tier lists. Actually, let me save this tier list first. Save. Reroll rankings. Tier list. Alright. This is basically a consolidated version. Consolidated tier list of how valuable rolling this character on your account is. If you get even one double S or S tier, the account is Gucci. Roughly 2 A tiers makes the account a strong one. If you rolled only Jing Chao, reinstall and delete the accounts to purge your gacha luck. Hello. We're on stream right now, by the way.
Alright, now I just need to turn you down. Alright, there we go.
Oh, likewise, you're a bit loud.
You're very loud, dude.
Yeah, we are streaming on, by the way.
So, don't say anything not in YouTube TOS, basically.
That's not an issue, but I don't think I can just... Oh wait, I can turn myself down.
Oh, okay, yeah, let me turn you a little bit further back up.
You
Alright.
When you go, now readjust.
if you
But
roll.
hey, so how's it going, dude?
Oh wait,
It's
I'm
been
out
like
of
5
I'm out of
minutes
scriptures.
already.
Okay, yeah,
How's it
there's no
going?
more characters. I'm out of characters. All right. So we save, and then let me download this. Boom. Okay, cool. So we got our reroll rankings. All right, next up. So this one is more to kind of explain how strong each character is relative in their roles. The next three are to give you, the first one's just for do I keep this account or not. This one is more about how strong is each character at doing their job, basically, to get a better understanding of like, to get like a better understanding of not supposed to be doing this role at all. Okay, so this was the carry one. Basically, we're ranking how good each character is in roles now, just so you have a better understanding of like why things are placed where they are. So first off, Dayluk S tier, Keijing S tier, Razor S tier. These guys are double S. Razor's just barely behind them, because physical is not as good as elemental late game. Although, is AR30 even late game? That's more mid game, honestly. Is that?
Early mid.
Yeah, that's like early mid. Like AR30, like when you hit AR30 and you can farm up a Vanera set, like that's when elemental just shoots ahead of physical damage. So like, yeah, mid game-ish, mid game-ish. Where most of the people who played day one are now at is about where elemental outpaces physical damage. What else? Carries. Noelle is shit. I need a separate category for Noelle.
She's just a pickaxe.
Chong Yun, A tier. Official S tier with Constellation 1 specifically. With Constellation 1.
Zoned out. What exactly are we doing for tier listing again?
This
I
is
completely zoned out.
It's okay. This is a tier list for carries.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
for carries. How good is something is at carrying? Bennett, S tier. He's actually better than Razor at level 70. Bennett's actually better than Razor at level 70, but only at level 70.
So we're assuming carries at level 70.
Well, no, I'm gonna actually specifically say Bennett's
Yeah, like what are the conditions
assumed
for this?
level 70. Yeah. Because at level 70, Bennett does outdo Razor. But only at level 70. Before that, he's like top of A tier.
So,
Otherwise, top A tier. Okay, cool. Yeah, Bennett is better than Razor late game at level 70 because that's when he gets his 2.5 second cooldown E during his ult. And that's when he starts competing with Dayluk for damage outputs. The only thing that puts him behind Dayluk, because he's actually very comparable in DPS numbers to a Dayluk in late game, and this is assuming Constellation 0 to 0. This gap gets shorter the more constellations you have on Bennett. But assuming Constellation 0 to 0, they're very close in DPS numbers, except Bennett's is only during his ult. Dayluk always has those numbers. That's the caveat to it. Okay, other carries. Noelle, I would put top of A tier. Noelle assumes a Noelle battery comp only. She's otherwise bottom tier. Okay. Because a Noelle battery team is really strong, actually. But if you're not running a battery team, Noelle's bad as a carry. She specifically has to have that build. Fish assumes Fish assumes C1. Fish assumes C1. Assumes C1. Okay, cool. Who else is a strong carry? Zhang Ling's just in general a decent carry. He's below Chong Yun though, but she's a decent carry. Wind MC Geo MC's in B. Wind MC is definitely A tier. Not as good as these other ones with the right conditions, but like MC is always good. Lisa should not be carrying. Mona is... Fuck, it's another A tier conditional.
She's your Hydro team carry.
Yeah, if you're running a Hydro like Electroshock team, with Vanera, she's good, but that's about it, really. Otherwise, B. Who else? Venti is not supposed to be doing this. Because technically, you can run Venti as a carry. I run a meme set that is a Venti spread shot carry, and it's actually probably A tier in damage, but it's still worse than running him as a support. Sucro should not be doing this. Chi-Chi. I actually have no idea how Chi-Chi functions as a carry. She's just standard. Like, high B. I've never... I don't have a Chi-Chi, and I never tried it.
Hey, Zero, welcome back.
I never seen anyone do it. Like...
It takes long as fuck to do anything, though.
She has, I think, higher than normal base damage, but you shouldn't be using her as a carry anyway. But
yeah,
probably B.
Probably B.
Actually, who else did you put in your B tier?
Earth, Geo MC.
Okay, yeah. If Geo's MC in B, then yeah.
And Kaya is also going to be there. Kaya's not supposed to be a carry, but you can technically auto-attack with him if you wanted to, and just spam his E.
Fillet Blade, I guess.
Yeah.
Occasional procs, but it still takes a while.
Yeah. Jean... Let's put Jean in A.
Jean is a better carry because of the charge version.
Yeah, because of charge attack. Charge attack gives you free CC with only stamina cost, no cooldown. So, Jean I would still put Jean below Zhang Ling because Zhang Ling has the spear move set and also her constellations do get her auto attack modifiers. Jingqiu is not supposed to auto attack. Beidou is honestly B tier because the only value she has as carry is the fact that she has a parry, but she's otherwise weak for a Claymore user. Barbara should definitely not be a carry. Ning as a pure carry is definitely A tier. She just doesn't synergize well. I will put Noelle above her. But a Ning double Geo carry is going to be better than these other options for the most part. Chong goes above Mona. Actually, I don't know if Chong will be better than the Ning comp. Chong's probably better than the Ning comp. For a freeze comp. Double ice freeze comp, yeah, it's probably still better. 50% crit chance, yeah. I would put Ning above or double water comp, though, in terms of, like, carry output. Let's see here. Amber is still Paimon emergency food. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's the carry lists. It's pretty self-explanatory. Dayluk and Caging are just the best carries in the game. You get them early, they're good. End game, they're still the best. They're just the best carries in the game currently. Razor is comparable with Dayluk and Caging early and mid game, but as soon as you get access to Viridescent Venera for the elemental resistance drop on your Anemo characters like Venti, Sucrose, and Wind MC and Jean, they suddenly shoot above him. So that's the only thing holding him back is mid to late game. He is just worse than elemental carries are. Bennett is, at best, he's top A tier when you start out, just because his ult is really good for the damage boost, but you can also use that as a support ability. But the moment he hits level 70, he halves his cooldowns inside. He halves all of his cooldowns inside of his ult, on top of getting damage bonus, on top of converting his damage to fire. Which means that he becomes as strong as Dayluk as long as he's standing inside of his ultimate. So Bennett becomes a top tier carry at level 70 specifically. Fischl with Cons 1. Now this is assuming pre-nerf Fischl, of course, because, you know, Apparently, rumor says that Fischl's getting an attack speed nerf, which will drop it down to like mid, low A tier. But Fischl with Constellation 1 gets a 22% damage echo, which just puts her above other range carries in terms of auto attack damage. And plus she gets to run Rust or Slingshot, and Rust and Slingshot are kind of busted stat-wise. Slingshot is by far the highest damage percent increasing physical damage 3-star in the game, because it's fucking 60% increased damage on every shot if you're in melee range. The problem is bow users have lower motion value per second than melee users, so Fischl with her echoes edges over. Noelle is B tier, bottom of B tier, unless you build a Noelle battery comp, then she is great, because she spams her ults, and she has a greatsword that hits the entire room with every swing. So everything's just getting chunked down, and she breaks rock shields like nobody, and rock constructs like nobody's fucking business, because she's Geo and Claymore type, and she's a pickaxe. She's very fast at breaking ore in the overworld.
Best carry.
Yeah, Noelle is specifically with a carry comp. Oh, with a Noelle battery comp. If you want to just stick her into a comp as the carry, she's very bad at doing it. But she is very good in the battery comp. Chong Yun. Chong Yun with a double ice, water, and Nemo comp is still gonna be worse off than a Noelle comp with a proper full battery comp going, because it doesn't have as much AoE clearing speed. It's probably better for bosses because the single target's going to be a bit higher. And it does have more CC, but DPS output-wise, Noelle can literally hit everything in the room at the same time for the same damage, which is what makes a Noelle team so strong. But in terms of single target, double ice Chong Yun with a freeze comp and a very distant Venera on a Nemo character is gonna hit hard a single target. Ningguang on the double Geo comp. Double Geo, probably double Pyro for the fire damage. Double Geo, double Pyro on Ningguang is good. It's just still Geo. The only thing holding it back is Geo, but double Geo for the 50% extra damage on Ningguang, plus probably... Actually, probably not double fire. Probably want to run... Who are the casters? What's the best elemental residence for that? Ice doesn't have a caster, does it? No, it doesn't. There's only Sucrose, Barbara, Mona, and Lisa. And Lisa's Pepe hands. Probably... Not Lisa. God, I guess you have to go for Sucrose. Yeah, so probably, if you can run so if you run Ningguang with another Geo, so probably Geo MC to charge her ult faster, and then you mix that in with a Mona, and then something else, it doesn't really fucking matter at that point, you don't have any more synergies. Mona with a Dragon Slayer plus Mona's ult can turn Ningguang's EQ combo can literally almost double the damage of Ning's EQ combo with a 50% damage boost from double Geo and being shielded, which is really strong. The only problem is that a Nemo can't swirl with Geo, and Geo can't get other damaging reactions, so you lose out on all of that damage potential compared to other elemental builds. But it is the burst damage from a Mona Q Dragon Slayer into Ningguang EQ is disgusting. The amount of burst is fucking disgusting. And then Ning's sustained DPS is good, she just can't get damaging reactions, so it falls behind. Speaking of which, I should run that build more. Double Geo Ning Mona is really fun to run. It's really fun just plastering a room and killing everything in one shot. But Mona as a carry is specifically good on a Hydro team. So generally speaking, how does a Hydro team normally go, Sai? I haven't really looked into Hydro teams much because it's kind of memey.
Sorry. Hydro, if you're using a Hydro carry, usually it's Mona double electric or Mona engine Q with an electric for electro charge.
Okay, yeah.
You run Mona simply because it's always running the Hydro procs.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
And then Lisa, not Lisa, Fish is always giving you your Electro procs, so that's how you just keep up the Electro damage.
Yeah. What about Beidou?
Beidou could work.
Because if you use Beidou with Mona, because Mona, especially Mona with, is that with Constellations or is it with Ascensions? I don't remember. I think it's Cons 2 Mona.
So what do you say? Like Mona, Fish, and Beidou?
Yeah, Mona, Fish, Beidou. Beidou specifically because of her Chain Lightning ult. And because, I'm trying to remember exactly which one it is. Yeah, so if you can get a Constellation 2 Mona somehow, every normal attack has a 20% chance to be followed by a charge attack. Charge attack applies wet to everything. Chain Lightning applies electroshock to everything. That would be the synergy in my mind. Would be specifically a Cons 2 Mona with like double electro with a Beidou for the Chain Lightning ult. Would just immediately.
Really high investment though.
It is. Well, alternatively, what you can do instead is you could just spam charge attacks with Mona. You just spam charge attacks with a Beidou, and everything inside of your charge attack radius is immediately getting electroshocked. Which, means they all proc separate electroshock numbers on each other simultaneously, on top of the Chain Lightning and the AoE water damage, so probably really good AoE clearing, at least. That way, but that would be what I would probably do for a water comp, at least. Just spam charge attacks on her. But yeah, I don't know. It's still not as good because water's not strong. That's what it comes down to. Water's just not as strong, so it's not as good. But it can work. It's definitely not bad. It can work. It's just not as good as the highest damage reaction-based compositions. Because water's just weaker than the other elements. Zhang Ling is the best free-to-play carry, is what it really comes down to. Zhang Ling is, if you didn't roll any carries on your rolls, Zhang Ling's basically the best free-to-play carry, because the spear moveset is strong, and because Constellation 2 Zhang Ling, which is relatively easy to get because she's on banner right now, and also you get one for free. Constellation 2 Zhang Ling gets additional fire damage on every third auto attack, so it's pretty good. She's not ideal as a carry by any means, but she makes a decent one. Jean is the same. Jean has nothing in her kit that innately makes her a better carry like these other characters do. These other characters are such strong carries because the longer they stay on the field and use their auto attacks and their abilities, the more the higher the damage gets, the higher the damage goes up, which is hence why they're a good carry. They're good to use auto attacks and stuff in the meantime while you're waiting for your cooldowns to come off. That's the carry's job. And Jean doesn't do any of that naturally well, but if you're going to run, someone like Zhang Ling or Jean or Kaya or Beidou or Chi-Chi or any other auto-attacker who doesn't have innate auto-attacking synergy in their kit, Jean's good because her charge attack does CC and has a very high motion value. Anemo Traveler's the same way. Anemo Traveler's actually technically a pretty decent carry once you get deeper into the story because she gets constellations. And I need to switch back to Nemo to show the constellations off. But actually, Anemo's above Zhang Ling just because her constellations are really good for carry. Relatively speaking. Yeah, Sai, have you looked much at the Anemo Traveler's constellations? Because they actually make her a pretty decent carry.
Let's see.
So, first constellation, not that great. Second constellation, oh wait. I'm dumb. It's not constellation, sorry, it's levels. Yeah, her constellations don't really do much for her auto attacks, it's just for her abilities. Sorry, it's her talents.
Her
first talent makes her pretty good as a carry. It's extra damage from auto attacks. It's not much, but
that talent also applies to Geo, but it's just the second one instead.
Oh, is it really?
Geo. I personally rank Geo higher because you contest with the balls, but
yeah,
talent 1, you get 6-second balls that has a chance to hit twice essentially, and they do a fat chunk of damage.
Yeah. If we're talking purely how much like damage do they do by themselves on the field, Geo's better. But I would argue a Nemo carry is better because slitting wind allows you to do swirls with whatever's on the field. So that's more DPS.
Yeah, I know. It's just damage-wise, Geo's better.
Yes,
but
agreed.
Always run Ameno unless you're using Geo's.
A Geo comp, yeah.
Carry, yeah.
Yeah, unless you're running Geo as a comp for your Geo comp, basically. Yeah, like basically when you hit level 40 on the Anemo, boom, you shoot a Windblade. This Windblade procs Swirl, which is more reaction damage for free while you're just auto attacking. So that's actually really good and puts her pretty high up on the carry list because it doesn't matter what comp you're running, as long as you don't run Geo, Swirl reacts with it. So it doesn't matter if you have a Fischl Bird on the field. Every single time you hit a target that is Electrode, you do Electro Swirl damage.
I'm gonna go play some Red Dead. I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye, Heike.
Bye.
If you have Diluc and you set something on fire and you switch to your Anemo MC, that Swirl does extra fire damage. Like it's nice. It's like she's good as a carry once you hit level 40. So I put her above Zhang Ling because her auto attack effect is easier to get because it's not constellation based. And you get free constellations anyway, so she gets naturally strong just by playing the story. Everyone else you have to get lucky and reroll characters, reroll duplicates to get constellations, but she gets free constellations. Shit. Actually, with the constellations, does she go above Mona and Ning? Kind of think she does. We'll leave her there. She's a good benchmark as like middle of A. Yeah. Moving on. That was an etchy sound. Moving on. Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi has nothing innately good about her as a carry, except for she heals your team when she hits things. Same thing with Jean. Jean heals your team when she hits things. But other than that, Chi-Chi has no natural synergy as being a carry, but she still works. Same with Beidou. Beidou has no natural synergy as a carry because she has like the weakest moveset for Claymore users. Because she has lower motion values and barely faster attacks. But her parry is really nice as a carry. Because if you can use her perfect parries to get instant max charge damage on her parries, which you get, I think, at level 40, you get access to perfect parries, that's big chunks of burst damage while you're being a carry on the field. But other than that, Beidou is best as a sub-carry. Geo MC is higher damage personally than a Nemo MC because he also gets the auto attack bonus, and his Geo Rocks just do more damage than Palm Vortex, the comparative skills. But he's Geo, so he synergizes worse. So in a team comp, he's generally going to be doing less output because he can't synergize with the elemental statuses on the field from the rest of your team. Kaya has nothing about Kaya does anything carry wise. He can still auto attack if you want him to, but he doesn't do it. He does it at base level. Nothing he has as a carry makes him uniquely better than anyone else as a carry, just spamming auto attacks. And then Lisa, Venti, Sucrose, Jingcho, Barbara, and Amber should not be carrying. If you're gonna use any of these, just use your MC as your carry. Like, none of these guys need to be your carry. They're either better at doing a different job and building a different build than building a carry build, or they're not supposed to be a carry, period. Yeah, so that's the carry tier list. Beidou with Keijing works as a sub-carry, but you're better off using Beidou as your carry and Keijing as a sub-carry in that case. Because Keijing is better as a sub-carry than Beidou is, because Keijing stuff continues to happen when he's off the field. Beidou can only parry when she's out on the field, so she makes a slightly better carry because of that. Alright, save and download. Carry tier list. This list is how strong each character is as your team's main carry, aka the person who auto attacks while your team's abilities are all on cooldown. This person is generally the biggest damage dealer on the team because they not only use their abilities, they also auto attack, so you stack shitloads of attack. Oh, so you stack them. Run out of space. Save. Hey, carry tier lists. I just need to fucking carry. How do I edit this? Fuck, can I edit this? I think I can. I'll just delete the other one. Rename it. Carry tier list. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care enough. Moving on. Alright, so that's our carry tier list. I did download that, right? Oh, did I not download it? No, I did not. Fuck. Alright.
Professional streamer, guys.
Professional streamer! Okay, looks good. Next one. Pull everyone down again. For Root, Constellation 2 Zhang Ling is not better than MC because the pyro explosion on Zhang Ling's third hit is worse than MC's Anemo auto. So, unfortunately, no. On top of that, like, Zhang Ling gets all her value from pressing E and pressing Q, and you can just switch off of her after that. So she makes a better sub carry anyway, or a better reaction support, or she makes a better secondary fire support. So MC has to be on the field to use her abilities optimally. Like, you want to charge her E up when she's on the field to pull people in and increase the damage. Or does it increase damage? I don't remember. But anyway, you want to pull people in, and then you want to be on MC to be spamming out that 5th hit auto attack. So, generally speaking, Nemo MC is still going to be better than the Constellation 2 Zhang Ling. The big issue, too, with Zhang Ling's third auto one is that it's delayed, so it doesn't deal damage initially. It takes about 2 seconds for it to explode after you do the third hit, which is eh. Yeah, you can download it. You just gotta find... I have no idea how a tier maker works, but here. We'll post this in here. Boom. Let me also put this in the description. Here is the list. Here is the tier maker account for downloading the tier lists. Bop. Save. Alright. Moving on. Next we'll do sub carries. So, sub carry tier lists. Let's delete these extra little bits.
I go eat.
Goodbye. Okay. So, best sub carries in the game. Undoubtedly, best in the game is Fischl, Chi-Chi, and do I put Kaya in there? He's either top A or bottom double. He's either top S or bottom double S. Let's see. Let's think. Okay. Beidou's definitely S tier as a sub carry, but is outdone by Fischl in the same job, because Fischl does more stuff while also being a sub carry. Bennett's not really a sub carry. Nothing's well, he's more of a support than a sub carry. Bennett's not really supposed to be a sub carry. He's supposed to be a support or a carry. Because he doesn't have, like, his ult is a support ult, not a sub carry ult. So you build it for support, not for sub carry. Chong Yun is not supposed to be sub carrying either, really. Kaya's S. He's S because his synergy with Razor is too strong. His synergy with Razor and Dayluk specifically is just too good. Chi-Chi does it better, but he's still the second best at it. Keijing is not supposed to be doing this. Lisa is B tier for sure. Venti is not a sub carry. He is a support. Zhang Ling is S tier. 100% S. Actually, Zhang Ling's double S. That's the one I was forgetting for double S is Zhang Ling. Dayluk is not supposed to be sub carry. He's either a burst support or he's either a burst and energy regen support or he's a carry. Barbara is not supposed to be a sub carry either. None of the Anemo characters are sub carries. They're technically categorized as what's it called? As all supports. OE, the sub carry's job is to specifically proc lots of elemental reactions for your main carry. That is their job. Their job is to proc as many possible reactions for your main carry as possible, which is why technically Anemo characters don't really count as sub carries, because what Anemo characters do is they give you one big burst of swirl damage and damage resist loss, and that's it. That's the entire point of supports. So supports don't really do the job of giving you constant electroshock, constant superconductor, constant melt procs, vaporize procs, overload procs. Like swirl is a bit different from the other ones because swirl doesn't need like specific synergies. You just press a swirl button and it happens. It's more of a support. It's a support element. It's a damage support element, but it's not like it doesn't proc the elemental reactions you're trying to like specifically build a comp around. Because swirl you literally just throw into any element and it does stuff. They're not really meant for like a. They're not reaction supports basically. They're not reaction sub carries is what it comes down to. Razor's not supposed to be doing this. Mona is S tier. Yeah, Mona's actually a pretty good sub carry because her Fumo does constantly put out water damage. Water just sucks. Noella's not supposed to be a sub carry. Jean is not a sub carry. Jingcho is A. And then Lisa's technically a sub carry. Technically, Amber's a really bad sub carry. This is the one time I'll actually put her in a list because she is technically a really bad fire support sub carry. Anyone else? Technically, Chong Yun is a bad sub carry because his E does persist. For ice procs, it's just not great. But it's still better than Lisa and Amber because Lisa's ult literally pushes enemies out of it. Like it has anti-synergy with itself. It literally pushes enemies out of your ult. And Amber's lasts 2 seconds in the small circle. Let's see. No one else here is a sub carry. Yep, okay. No one else here is a sub carry. So I guess there's only 10 sub carries in the game currently, really. The rest aren't really sub carries. Their job is either to be like a burst reaction support or be a carry, basically. Amber is the puzzle carry. Yeah, Ahmed, I put the link to the accounts for this my tier maker account with all the lists on it in the description of the video, so you can just find it there. Okay, so moving on. Best sub carries in the game: Fischl, Chi-Chi, and Zhang Ling. Zhang Ling is the only fire character in the entire game that can constantly put out fire damage without being on the field. Amber technically does, if you count 2 seconds of her ult existing doing that in a tiny circle. So, yeah. Zhang Ling is the only way for you to get constant fire procs on the field when a fire character isn't currently on the field. So that makes her SS tier reaction carry with Keijing. She's good with Razor if you want to do an overload comp instead of a physical comp on Razor, which is still good. An overload comp on Razor is still good. Physical is just more ideal because it leverages his strengths more. But for example, if you're doing an Abyss floor that has a pyro damage bonus, you should ideally switch off the Razor build from a physical or Razor team to a pyro team or to an Overload team, because an Overload team will get more damage bonus from the Abyss floor's bonus to fire damage. Because for those of you who don't know, each Abyss floor has a different set of elemental bonuses that make certain elements much stronger than other elements on that floor. So you would run Zhang Ling with like a Razor as an Overload team on a fire floor instead of running a physical team with an ice electro setup. So yeah, Chi-Chi is just the best ice character in the game. Chi-Chi provides ice orbitals, provides ice. Mix her with electro teams for superconductor, basically. You can also mix her with Dayluk to get a melt team going, but Dayluk melt teams are a bit weird to micro. That they are Dayluk, Chi-Chi based melt teams are theoretically the highest DPS in the game, but they're difficult to micro because you have to make sure that what's proccing the melt status is Dayluk's attacks, not Chi-Chi's ice. And it's wonky to micro. You can't just mash attack and mash ease with that build to maximize the damage. You have to be very particular about your timings. So it's a little weird. It's weird to get used to. But if you can do it and micro that team, it's the highest DPS team in the game currently. Even Overload can't compete with the melt team for Dayluk. But Overload's close. Theoretically. I don't know what your Dayluk attack melt uptime will be needed to beat an Overload comp, but theoretically that should be stronger. Let's see. Zhang, and then, yeah, Fischl. Fischl's the best Electro sub-carry, because her and Beidou do the same thing, except for Beidou does it on your auto attacks, and Fischl's does it on the bird attack. So technically with Beidou's ults, Beidou gives you more control over who is getting the Electro procs because it's on your auto attacks. However, Fisch not only does basically the same job as Beidou, but she also does 5-10 other jobs that Beidou doesn't. So she's just better as a sub carry, because technically Beidou is a better purely sub carry, but Fisch is a better sub carry slot in your team because she does other stuff. Same with Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi and Kaya basically fulfill the same role, fulfill the sub carry job about as well, but Chi-Chi does a shitload of other stuff for your team that Kaya can't. And Mona does a shitload of stuff for your team that's really good that Jing Chao can't do, while also being about as good a water sub carry as Jing Chao. But water's just weaker than the other elements. So yeah, does sub carry job very well and does other things for your team at the same time. Let's see, Beidou, and let's do ampersand for space, and Kaya do sub carry job as well as SS tier, but can't do other things at the same time. And then Jing Chao does sub carry job better than Mona, actually, but does not do the 10 other things Mona does for your team.
God damn it, Jinx.
Well, it's true. So yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to, is that we have 2 possible Electro sub carries, 2 possible ice, 1 fire, because Amber's a fucking meme, but technically Amber's the other fire sub-carry possibility. And then we have 2 water carries, and it just comes down to the ones who are ranked higher simply do extra jobs for your team while filling your sub-carry slots, and also sub-carry well. And yes, Sam, sub-carries always go for Elemental Mastery, and generally they go for Energy Recharge, because Energy Recharge gives them more ults, and most of these characters do their sub-carrying job by pressing their ult. Fischl is the one exception. Fischl just runs attack Attack and Elemental Mastery first. Elemental Mastery, then attack. Everyone else generally wants energy recharge to get their ults up faster, so they can do sub-carrying more often. Because every single one of these guys, except for Mona and Fischl, do sub-carrying by popping their ults. Technically, these are sub-carries, but they bad at it. These guys do better when do much better in other roles. Boom! Alright. Sub-carry lists. There you go. There's 10 of them. Pick out of these 6 ideally. Fenrir, you do want attack on Chi-Chi if you want extra healing, but that depends on whether you want extra healing or not. Just leveling Chi-Chi's weapon and leveling Chi-Chi's feather gives you enough flat attack to give her a decent amount of healing. It depends on how much healing you want. Like, for example, if I was running a Chi-Chi, I probably would not stack percent attacks. I'd stack energy, I stack cooldown. Oh, so I stack energy regeneration because I don't really tend to need that much healing. So, it depends on how much healing you want if you want to invest in attack instead of energy recharge for Chi-Chi because of her healing. It just depends on, yeah, it just depends on how much healing you feel like you need. Because she does her sub-carry job better if you run energy recharge, but you know. Exactly, soul gain. If you're running Zhang Ling, E and Q on, and then switching to Keijing, Zhang Ling is the best sub-carry for Keijing. By the way, is like she is the absolute best one for Keijing because it's just everything's exploding all the time. And so she needs elemental mastery and energy recharge so she can spam her Q as much as possible while Keijing just does Keijing things. Yeah. So sub carry list, cool. Save and download. Title of tier list: sub carry tier list. Patch 1.00. This ranks the sub carries by how good they are as the sub carry slot in your team. Technically, Beidou is better at the sub carry job than Fish, but Fish does like 10 other things for your team while also sub carrying. Carry in your team, not just how good they are at the sub carry job. Sub carry job of proccing elemental reactions for proccing elemental reaction of proccing reactions for the carry. God damn it, I'm one letter off. What can I remove?
A space.
Boom. Delete last period. Easy. Easy. Wait, does it just delete the word tier lists from when you type it in there? I'm so confused. Why does it say that? Doesn't matter. All right. Download the image. That is now on my account, correct? Yep, sub carry tier list patch 1.0. Carry tier list should be 1.0, but I don't know how to edit titles. Reroll rankings tier list 1.0. And then finally, we have support. This one's gonna kind of suck. Okay.
I mean, nah, I'll let you say it.
Well, this one sucks because, like, supports fill different roles, but I don't want to have to make, like, 5 tier lists of every single supporting role. So I'm instead gonna go with who does, like, the most pure possible value for your team as a support in all the different categories, basically, because that's the best way to do it. Because I have to make like 6 tier lists for support specifically of who's the best at energy generation, who's the best at healing, who's the best at CC, who's the best at damage reduction, who's the best at damage buffing, who's blah blah blah. Like who's the best at being a burst reaction support. Like it's too many. There's too many possible tier lists for that. So we're just gonna do like a consolidated. Who fits best as just a support. Who gives you the most possible value in team comps when you stick them into a support role? Because yeah. Okay, double S tier. Double S tier is, very obviously, Venti. It is also Sucrose. Sucrose is a discount Venti, but still a top tier support because she's... You know, all these 3 Anemos just are double S because they're Anemo. Veneer... Anemo supports OP and meta as fuck. Boom. Like, these 3 are just in the top because they're Anemo supports. That's all it comes down to. Alright, so that's all that comes down to. Who else is in double S tier? Let's do the not supports first. So that's easier. So I have, like, less to look at. Technically, Ning can support. Noel cannot support. Kaya is a sub carry, not a support. He doesn't do anything as a support. That's a lie. He energy gens for an ice team. Beidou cannot do anything other than sub carry. She's not a good support at all. Fischl is double S tier support, hands down. Zhang Ling technically is a support for a double fire comp. She's not a sub carry for a double fire comp.
That's a dude.
Lisa is technically a really bad support. Mona is S tier supports easily. Again, just held back by being water. Easily S tier support. Chong Yun is not supposed to be a support at all in any way. Kaya's B tier because the only supporting he does is being an energy generator for a double ice comp, like a Chong Yun Kaya comp. No. And that's only if you don't have Chi-Chi. Speaking of which, where the fuck is Chi-Chi? Double S.
Chi-Chi is just so damn good.
Yup. I probably put Fischl above Sucrose though. Just barely. Bennett. Double S tier support. S tier support. Above Mona because he's a healer. Luke. Luke's a carry. Technically, he makes a good secondary fire energy gen. He makes a good secondary fire energy gen burst reaction support to another fire carry, but there is literally no other fire character you would want to run as a carry over him. Except maybe Bennett, but even then, Bennett is better at being the support for Luke, so there's no reason to do that. Like he does actually make like an A tier energy gen and burst reaction supports, but there's just literally no reason to run him instead of carry. Amber B tier. Jingcho is a sub carry and terrible at being support. He doesn't do anything except for sub carry. Well, it's kind of. He doesn't do anything except for sub carry. Oh, somewhat. Razor is Razor is Luke. Well, I just said for Luke, except for Razor can actually do that for caging decently. Razor can generate energy for caging really well and then switch off. So he's specifically good as an energy gen support for a double electric comp with caging if you're using Fischl on a separate team. Fischl is better at doing that job than Razor, but you have to have 2 teams for Abyss. Barbara, A tier supports. Ning's A. Sure. Ning's A. Zhang Ling is S tier supports. Because, yes, she is a good sub carry, but she is also an S tier support for a Diluc if you don't have a Bennett. For energy generation. And additional fire output, she shreds fire resistance with constellations. So she is a very good support. Bennett's just better as a support for Diluc. But Zhang Ling makes a fantastic support for Diluc or a fantastic support for Bennett. Fire's OP in this game. Anemo MC is A tier support, easy. Still Wind. Worst Wind character is still Wind. Geo MC is a B tier support, but I would put him above everyone else because he's mandatory for a Noelle comp. Cool. Alright, there's our tier lists. I will absolutely be doing a guide on builds and artifacts. Yes, Pumpkin, no. I just have so many different video concepts to go through. I'm trying to decide which ones to do first. I'll be right back in a pee, and then we'll talk about this. Okay, I'm back. Need to drink some water. My throat kind of hurts from talking too much. Lethal Shadow. Geo MC is mandatory for a Noelle comp because a Noelle comp, the job of literally everyone else on a Noelle team is to get her energy. Noelle is a very strong carry if her ult is up. Yeah, Noelle is actually a very strong carry. She's like top A tier, maybe S tier carry if her ult is up. But she can't generate any energy for herself. None of her abilities generate any energy. And she has an 80 cost ultimates, so your entire rest of your team has to be devoted to getting Noelle energy so she can keep her ult up. That's how a Noelle comp works. And the ideal for that is Geo MC, because Geo MC has a spammable E that gets you 3 energy orbs, and because they're both Geo, Noelle gets extra energy back for the same element orb. Then Ningguang, because she's the only other Geo character in the game, so she can also get Geo energy for Noelle while also doing burst damage rotations while you're waiting for Noelle's ult to come back up, because her EQ combo, her ability into ult combo does a lot of damage, and Ningguang can run Dragon Slayer to boost Noelle's damage for 10 seconds after you switch to Noelle and ult. And then generally Fischl, because Fischl is otherwise the best passive energy generator in the game. Either that, or you run like a healer of some sort. Doesn't matter who. You just run a healer. Or you run a healer. Like Jean's probably ideal in that situation over Chi-Chi, actually. Or you run a healer. But it doesn't really matter because Geo doesn't, like, none of the healers have synergy with Noelle at all. Maybe Bennett. Maybe Bennett's, because Bennett's heal also gives you damage. But maybe. But yeah, that's how a Noelle comp works. Is your team's entire job is to just generate energy for Noelle to use her ult. Chris, yes. In my humble opinion, Sucrose is 100% of the time better than GeoMC, even though Sucrose has much higher cooldowns, because one, she's a Catalyst user, so she can therefore use... Let's just go through the sports, I guess, then we'll start with Sucrose. The reason why Sucrose is better than Wind MC, or Anemo MC, is because even though her cooldowns are higher, and Anemo can spam them more often, Sucrose is a Catalyst user. This means that she can use Thrilling Tales of the Dragon Slayer, so when you switch to Sucrose to your carry, for 10 seconds they have 48% more base attack. That's very strong. B is because Sucrose's abilities suck. They suck in enemies towards a single point, so you can spam AoE damage inside of that single point. By contrast, Wind MC's abilities yeet people away from you. Wind MC's E sucks people in, but then yeets them away from you. So now you have to chase them down, which lowers your DPS uptime. And same with Wind MC's ult. Wind MC's ult picks up enemies and carries them away from you. So now you have to chase down the enemies to DPS them. So Sucrose, otherwise known as Sucrose, is just innately better because she pulls instead of pushes away. For her CC, and because she can use Dragon Slayer. That's the only reason. Wind MC would be better because Wind MC can spam her abilities a lot more, but because you have to chase down enemies, it just hurts your DPS uptime too much compared to Sucrose.
Jinx,
Yes.
I just got my second Diluc.
Go fuck yourself! What?
Yeah. Let me put it on stream.
You have a Constellation 1 Luke! You don't even say his name right!
I don't fucking care.
Oh my god.
Can you see it?
It's in another window. I have it in another window, one sec. Yeah, okay. Fuck you, Tony. Did you spend money on this?
No, I had another 10 pull.
Oh my god.
Because I was farming all fucking morning.
I'm actually mad. Like, you have a 5-star greatsword and a Constellation 1 Luke. I'm actually mad about that.
Fuck, man.
And I'm happy for you, but I'm also mad at the fact that out of literally anyone in our group of Genshin players, you're the person who will use him the worst.
Yes.
Because you're bad at this game.
I am.
Oh my god. Why gacha gods? There truly is no gacha god. Is this what Job felt like? Is this what Job felt like if he was praying to gacha gods?
Oh shit.
Oh my
Man.
god.
Anybody can play my party comp on my account better than me. I just fucking suck at this game.
Oh my god. My brain hurts.
Oh, so I got a question, math guy. How strong is the loot?
Go fuck yourself. That's how strong he's. Go fuck yourself. He probably has one of the best cons. Real talk, he has one of the best cons ones in the game. 15% more damage to anyone who's over 50% HP, which, as you can imagine, is good. That's just, in general, it's good. Especially because you also have to remember that because... oh, thank you, Gail Duncan. 1 second. You have to remember that because Diluc is your carry, he's normally the first one rolling out his attacks, right? Like, how a fight starts is you go up to something as Diluc, you auto-E, 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 switch to another character. So, you're getting the 50% damage on anyone who's over 50% HP, which is normally what's happening because he's the person who initially bursts the enemy. So, like, Diluc's Con 1 is really good. If you got another Diluc, I would probably buy your account. Because Cons 2 Diluc is disgusting. Like, I would no kappa buy your account if you got another Diluc, because, holy shit, Cons 2... okay, well, okay, I wouldn't buy it because MiHoYo is listening and buying is not allowed, but I would give you a gift as a friend to a friend, and then somehow I would stop playing on your account.
Oh shit.
Anyway, fucking hell, Jesus Christ. Thank you, Gail Duncan, for the super chat. Hey Jinx, it's super glad to see you excited about a game again. Just use the Razor Caging floor on 9-star Abyss floor at AR30. Congrats. Floor 6 is a bitch. Floor 2 is really hard. I haven't tried Abyss floor in about 3 days now, and I'm stuck. And I got stuck at 2-star. Oh, at 2-star floor 6 because I was AR 27 or 28 when I last tried Abyss floor. Now that I'm AR 30, I'm pretty sure I should be able to clear it no problem. But I haven't like seriously tried clearing to the 9-star on floor 6 because I was only at AR 28 and I just didn't have enough damage. Because holy shit, you have to clear floor 2 with 4 minutes 30 left. But thank you so much again, Gail Duncan. Let's add that. How much does £5 convert to? Fuck. £5 to USD. $6.47. So 6,486, and then $6 is 53. We are officially over halfway to the whale. Yeet yeet. So export all. Photoshop stream. Ping everyone in the gentleman with that.
Oh, Con 2? Okay.
Yeah. No, with Con 1.
Con 1, my man.
With Con, if you go, like I said, if you go to Con 2, I'm flying over to Texas. And I'm not going to reveal. I'm gonna keep it a surprise. I'm not gonna reveal whether I'm gonna suck your dick or kill you, but I'm flying over to Texas.
Oh shit, my account is straight busted now.
You motherfucker.
Oh.
Boom. Beautiful. Gail Duncan, thank you so much for the support. And welcome to the Waifu Whalers. It is an illustrious club of people who have successfully caused me to stop doing my stream to hop into Photoshop while on stream. All right. Thank you so much, Gail Duncan. Okay, let's see here. Alright, so yeah, going through the sports again. So Sucrose, that's why Sucrose is better than Wind MC. However, because Viridistant Vanera exists, and therefore, again, we'll go over this again, because in the video, I'm going to have to explain what this support set does. But, Vanera... God damn it, it's on the artifacts page. Okay, so going over this again. The reason why mid to late game Anemo supports are broken, just completely fucking busted, is because of this 4-piece set bonus. Veniscence Venera. So you get at 2-piece, you get 15% Anemo damage. That's pretty nice. At 4-piece, your swirl damage, which is anytime your Anemo damage hits any element that isn't Geo, you get swirl damage, is increased by 60%. That's a lot of damage. Also, it decreases the enemy's elemental resistance to that element by 40% for 10 seconds. This is the only reason why physical damage drops off compared to elemental damage in the mid to late game, is because this set bonus exists. This is outright fucking disgusting. So yeah. Yeah. This is why every Anemo character is a top tier support mid to late game, because this set bonus is fucking disgusting. Alright. So, Sucrose, Jean, Venti. Wind MC, all of them run Viridistant Vanera, and suddenly you have a god support. It doesn't matter which one it is, they all do that. Delirious Bow, yes, because the Anemo damage and swirl damage is worth it, especially because it increases the damage of all your other characters' abilities. I would still put that on Jean, honestly, because scaling Jean's auto attack damage isn't worth it compared to the damage bonuses for all that for the rest of your team's damage. Jean does swirl anytime she uses her E, and her ult puts that field down. Anytime elemental damage happens inside of that field, it procs swirl. So Jean does make a lot of swirl as well. Jean just doesn't CC the same way as like a Sucrose or a Venti do. She's more about like popping her healing field and then having elemental damage happen inside of it to proc swirl procs. Okay. Drinking water. In terms of the Anemo support rankings, we already explained why Sucrose is better than Wind MC. Jean is better than Sucrose because she heals. It's the only reason is because she's the only character in the game that can fill both a healing slot and an Anemo support slot at the same time. So because of that, she is just innately better than the other two. And Venti's only better because Venti is a literal god. E can knock people up Delirious Bow as CC, but the thing is, it knocks them away from you. Even if you aim it straight up, it knocks them away from you. Ira Tunkel, thank you so much for the super chats. Giphy Cat, I'm gonna pop this on my other screen just in case it's not not safe for. I'm gonna watch it first to make sure it's okay to go on YouTube, because I don't want to get demonetized. Let's see, what is this?
Alright. My account is totally stacked now.
Holy what? Does it show build? Because I have a rough idea of how you would do that, but... Oh, they're running a Bard set. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. They're running a Bard set. That's why. Mona would do that better, but... Anyway, let's show it on stream. I will try to explain how the fuck this happened. So... Here we go, stream. So I will explain how this madness happens. Because it's very explainable. Okay. Boom. 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 Again, Mona would do this better, but Barbara also can do this. So this is what we call a vaporized comp. This is what we call a vaporized comp. So, and yes, Timothy, that does stack with Con 6 version. That is why Venti is considered the best one, because his CC is the best, his damage is the best, and actually is better even though Sucrose can use Dragon Slayer for your carry, and because Venti also has constellations that reduce the elemental resistance even further. But anyway, okay, so I don't speak Chinese, but I think I know which book that is. Do I have that book? I don't read Chinese despite being Chinese. No, I don't have the book on me. It's not Favonius Codex. Let me look up the weapons real quick. I want to know. I want to give you the exact build off of this, and I don't read Chinese, but I can ascertain what it is from other methods. So, let's see. Catalysts. We're going to break this down real quick to thank you for the $2. For the $2. Ira Tunkel. And then I'll add you to the list after we break it down. Alright, so that is Wine and Song. Yep, that's what I figured. It's Wine and Song. Or is it Mappa Mare? I actually can't tell if that's Mappa Mare or Wine and Song. It's really hard to tell from the picture. What does Wine and Song hit at? I think that's Wine and Song, but it might be Mappa Mare. What does Wine and Song hit at 70? 388. Okay, that's Mappa Mare. Yeah, okay, that's Mappa Mare. That's why the damage almost went up with each hit. Yeah, that's Mappa Mare for sure. Yep, that's Mappa Mare. Okay, so what this build is what's called a Vaporize build. Vaporize is pretty much... Vaporize or Electroshock is how you make a double water team work. So first off, this weapon is called Mappa Mare. I believe this is one of the craftable catalysts. Yeah, made from forging. So what this does is anytime you trigger an elemental damage or elemental reaction, you get 8% more elemental damage up to 2 stacks. That's why the damage went up twice while she was spamming her charge attack. Now, the item set bonus she is using is called Bard's Veneer. So it's called Bard's something, not Veneer. I have it, one sec. So it's called Wondrous Troop, sorry. So what Wondrous Troop does is that 2 pieces, it gives you 80 elemental mastery. That increases the reaction damage, and this is a build based around vaporized reaction damage. Then the 4-piece set gives the charge attack 35% more damage as a catalyst or bow user, which is why, as you can see, she's spamming charge attacks, right? Goes up by 10%, goes up by 10%, and crits. That one was a crit, that's why it was 19. That was why it was 190,000 damage. But yeah, so Mappa Mare increases damage per hit. Bard's Veneer gives you more elemental mastery to make Vaporize stronger, and also flat increases the damage on that attack. Zhang Ling probably is running Noblesse. Let's see. Yeah, probably running Noblesse set. I don't know if they show. None of these increase Vaporize, right? Yeah. The Zhang Ling is either running a Crimson Witch Flames or running Noblesse. Noblesse is more likely. Yeah, probably this one. Noblesse is Oblige. Do they show the set for Zhang Ling or no? Yeah, they do. Okay, cool. Easy. So... Oh, no, they're just running Instructors. Okay, that makes sense. EM. Yeah, that's just more EM. So yeah, the Zhang Ling is running Instructors. Weapon doesn't really matter, but they're running Instructors. So Instructor set bonus, of course, gives us more elemental mastery for both her and for Noelle. And now, the real synergy here is because this is a Vaporize comp. Is a Vaporize comp. With Barbara, so not Noelle. So the real synergy here is Vaporize, because what Vaporize does is when fire and water meet each other, if the fire attack triggers Vaporize, it does 150% damage. If the water triggers the fire, like the water attack triggers fire, it does 200% damage. And then based on elemental mastery, the Vaporize and Melt damage goes up. So at the amount they had, it's probably like about a 40 to 50% increase on the 200%. So if it was about a 40% increase, that's a 280% damage increase. And that is how you get a Barber to hit almost 20,000 damage. Again, Mona will be better, because Mona could use her ults to pop Omen and then do this. But Barbara works as well, and I'm assuming they're using Barbara because it's funnier to use the healer to do that. But yeah, that's how you do a Vaporize build. That is they basically have an ideal Vaporize build, except for they're running Barbara instead of Mona. Because I don't think there is any constellation that makes Barbara better for this. Oh no, actually, 15% Hydro damage might make her better than Mona. No, Mona still has Omen. Yeah, Mona's still gonna be better for this comp. So if this person had been using Mona, their first two attacks would have dealt an extra 40% damage. So Mona would have been better, but they probably don't have Mona, or they wanted to use Barbara as a meme. Either way, very impressive Vaporize build. Very impressive Vaporize build. Really cool to see. Thank you so much for sharing that, Ira Tunkel. Let's go back and add you into the lists. Ira Tunkel. Can I fit? I can't fit Phoenix down up there, can I? Nope, we're gonna have to add an extra line. Alright. But can Bluey fit? J Bluey fit up here? Cannot. Alright. New line. New line. Welcome to how a Jinx does stream banners. Alright, cool. Export that. Replace whalers, and now we gotta move this up a little bit. Like right about here. Looks good. Beautiful. And then we need to go to Until Whale, and that is an extra $2 in the pot. Thank you so much again, Ira Tunkel, and also really cool. I've theorized a Mona Vaporize comp before, but I've never seen it. But yeah, I've never seen a Vaporize Vaporize Mona comp. They're using Barbara, but Mona would be better for that because of Omen. But yeah, I've never seen someone do it, so that was really cool to see. Honestly, that was really cool to see. But I've never seen one in action before. Tony, can you do me a favor? You still there, Tony? Did I lose Tony? Oh no, I lost Tony. I have to send it to myself. 2 minutes 2 hours 35. Cause I want to save that for some for probably a video or something. It'd be cool to have that breakdown in there. Merrick Morgan, Noel energy gain comp is Noel, Geo MC, Ningguang, and then ideally Fischl for more energy gen, but any healer works as well if you want a healer instead. You don't really need a healer because, like, you know, you have 3 Geos, you're dropping more than enough shields, but ideally a Fischl, because Fischl has the best passive energy gen that isn't Geo type. Okay, let's finish off this support tier lists. Alright, so that's why Anemo characters are broken as support. Moving on, Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi is the best healer slot in the game. The only thing that would make Jean better than Chi-Chi is that she fills the Anemo slot at the same time, but Chi-Chi is specifically good for teams that want to use Ice and also fills the healer slots very well. So Chi-Chi is slightly better than Jean because if you don't run a Chi-Chi in a team that wants to run like Superconductor, or a freeze team, you have to run Kaya instead. On the other hand, if you run Chi-Chi, you can run Venti or Sucrose in that team instead, and Jean forces you to run Kaya instead, which is much worse for your team comp. So Chi-Chi's just slightly higher as an Ice. In Ice team specifically, Jean would probably be better in a non-team that in a team that doesn't want Ice reactions, but that's what Chi-Chi's for. Chi-Chi's heal is also just a bit nicer than Jean's, because Jean's is area limited. Fischl does everything a support wants to do except for CC and healing, basically. Fischl does very good DPS as a support by popping her turret out. Fischl applies electro status once per second because her turret is out. Fischl does energy generation once per second because her turret is out. And Fischl also can refresh her turret by popping her ult, which charges very fast because her bird charges ult very fast. Fischl exists for her turret as a support, and her turret is better than everything down here. Just the bird turret is better than everything else below this tier. Fischl is also the best 4-star in the game, basically. So yeah, Fischl is broken. Apparently she's getting nerfs according to rumors, but they won't hurt her that much because they're rumored to be attack speed nerfs anyway. And it doesn't matter. And then also, Fischl's on the banner right now, which means it's easy to get, and she's a 4-star, so it's very easy to get constellations, and literally every constellation for Fischl is good. None of them are bad. Every single constellation on Fischl is a blessing. Every time you roll a constellation for Fischl, it is good for your team. Alright, we're gonna talk about Sucrose. Moving on, Bennett. Why is Bennett S tier support? Because he's the only fire healer in the game. Double fire comps are quite arguably the strongest compositions for damage in the game. Double fire, and then either double fire with ice for a melt comp, which does what you saw with Barbara but bigger numbers, or a double fire electro comp for overload spam, so you just have all the fucking fire explosions happening constantly. Double fire is theoretically speaking the highest damage possible comp in the game in terms of like elemental variations, especially because Luke is the best carry in the game, and on top of that he's fire. So the reason why Bennett is S tier is because he's the only healer who can fit into a fire electro comp. Yeah, he is the only healer that fits into a fire and electro comp, and you replace him with a Zhang Ling sometimes if you have a Chi-Chi for a fire ice melt composition, but because he's not really need double healing, but even then he gives you extra attack damage, which is probably better than Zhang Ling, because Bennett's ult gives you extra attack damage if you're standing in the field as any character, meaning you get even higher melt damages, because melt is just a one-time doubles your damage. So Bennett increases your attack damage, has really bad healing, but it's still technically healing, and then also he can spam his E in his field when he's level 70 to regenerate Luke's energy super fucking fast, while also dealing comparable DPS to Luke. So yeah, Bennett is really good at level 70, and also just the only fire healer that exists, and like fire comps are busted. Alright, moving on. Mona. Mona is a fantastic support, she's just water type. And what we just saw with the Vaporize build is really fun and really powerful. Except for if you flip that over and make your carry Luke instead and run a ice build for a melt build, it does what we just saw but better. Melt builds do it better than Vaporize builds. So it's very strong water comp with Vaporize, like we just saw in that video. But water's just not as strong as fire is what it comes down to. And yes, Luke plus Fischl is a match made in heaven. There's a fantastic composition. Yeah, so Mona as a support is really good. She has CC because her E is a Fumu that taunts enemies and deals constant water damage. It's like Amber's E, but good. And then her ults, if you use it properly, her ult gives your carry 4 seconds of an extra 40% total damage, which is a lot. But you have to use it correctly, because how her ult works is you pop her ult and it marks every enemy in the area. Then the moment that enemy takes any instance of damage, it starts a 4-second timer where they take 40% extra damage. That means you have to make sure that nothing damages the targets of Mona's ult until you switch to your carry and hit them. So it requires more micromanagement, but it's a very powerful ult. The only problem is she's water, and the only problem is she's not a healer. And like her damage amp from her ult is only for 4 seconds, while the Anemo characters get a little bit less damage amp comparatively, with a Vanera set, but it's up all the time. But the difference is that the Anemo characters keep it up all the time, and for Mona it's only 4 seconds. So her damage amp isn't as good as Anemo characters with Vanera, but is better than Anemo characters without Venera because she at least gets to amp damage, and she can run Dragon Slayer to give your carry 4 seconds of 40% bonus total damage and 48% extra base attack. So 4 seconds of your carry doing godly damage. But she's water element, which is just weaker than the other elements, and she's and what's the word? She's and she doesn't have healing, so she kind of just ends up in late game. She kind of just ends up being a worse version of an Anemo healer, a Nemo character. She's a worse version of like Venti, Jean, or Sucrose in late game because Venera is just better than her ult. Barbara's your only other healer, so that's why she's an S tier. You need a healer. That's about it. Barbara heals things, and she uses Dragon Slay to buff damage. And if you want to meme and do a Vaporize build, she's a good stand-in for Mona for a Vaporize build, but Mona is better at a Vaporize build. But yeah, that's about it. She's a healer. You need a healer in Abyss. In the Abyss, you can't use items, and you have to fight for about 10 to 15 minutes without stopping. Without being able to like reset your healing and everything like that and your ults. So you need a healer in the Abyss unless you're a god at not getting hit for 10 to 15 minutes basically. So she's a healer, you put her in your teams to heal. Zhang Ling is a good support for a fire carry specifically. So if you specifically have Bennett or you specifically have Daeluc as your carry, Zhang Ling is a fantastic energy support for them. Because Barbara's right here in the middle. Barbara, right here. Boop, boop, boop. This is Barbara. So Zhang Ling is fantastic at being a second fire character on a double fire team. Because when you have two fire people on your team gets 25% extra base attack. Daeluc and Keijing aren't supports, that's why I deal. This is a support tier list right now. Not an overall tier list, this is a support specific tier list. They're just not tier. They're not supports. They don't support well. They're better off being a carry every time. But yeah. So anyway, you get 25% extra attack. So your ideal double fire team is Daeluc and Bennett. But if you don't have Bennett, you run Daeluc and Zhang Ling. If you don't have Daeluc, you run Bennett with carry and Zhang Ling as the fire support for a double fire team. That is why Zhang Ling is here. If you are missing either Bennett or Daeluc, you run Zhang Ling instead, and she is fantastic at being a support for either of them. Anemo MC, where it went over, worst Anemo character because she pushes enemies away, so you have to chase them down and waste DPS uptime, but still a win character. Razor and Ningguang are weird as supports. So let's go with Razor first. Razor is obviously supposed to be a carry, but if you have a Keijing's better, so you can use Razor as a support for Ningguang if you don't have Fischl on your team. Whether that's because Fischl's on your second team for Abyss Spiral, because Abyss Spiral requires you to use 2 teams, so you have to split up your comps and kind of like figure out what are the best 2 possible teams you can make, not what is the best team you can make and what is the bad team, because they both have to hit the time trials. So you have to spread out your units quite a bit. So Razor can make a good second Electro for Keijing specifically, because you do Keijing things right. You switch to Razor. Razor presses E. He presses Q. He presses E again because at level 40 his ultimate refreshes his skill, and you just suddenly got Keijing 6 energy orbs and you switch off. That's his entire job. When he is that is his entire job if you run him as a support, is to occasionally switch to him and get orbs for Keijing. That's it. But he's good. He's the best. He is the best Electro. He is the best second Electro unit other than Fischl for doing that. That's the only reason he's there, is for the Keijing comp if you don't have Fischl, or Fischl is going on your other team. But he's very good at doing that because his E is on very low cooldown. It's only 6 seconds. And his EQE is about a 2.5 second commitment to get out 6 energy orbs. Water time. Okay. Ningguang. Okay, so if you're running a Noelle comp, that we just talked about earlier, the Noelle ideal team is a Noelle battery team, where the entire team's job is to get Noelle's ult up. So if we have a Noelle, the Noelle battery team is going to be... Let's just throw it down here. So it's going to be Noelle, Ningguang, GeoMC, and ideally Fischl. Because she generates the most energy out of these guys, but it can be anyone else you want to sub in. You can run Mona for the Omen damage boost instead. You can run Barbara for just straight more healing, but you're generating so many shields, you don't really need healing on this team. There's just so much shields being popped everywhere. You can run Venti for CC. The problem is Venera set bonus does not apply to Geo because Geo cannot interact with wind, so you can't use the element resistance reduction. So they're not optimal. It's not optimal to run a wind character in the Noelle comp. But yeah, something like that. And so what happens is Noelle uses her ult. She beats the shit out of everything in the room at the same time because she can hit an entire room at the same time with a giant fuck off skyscraper greatsword that scales off of defense and attack. And then once her ult is down, you switch off Noelle, you pop Ning ult, you pop Ning E to generate more orbs, energy orbs for Noelle because they're both Geo, so she gets more energy out of it. You switch to Geo MC, you press his E. You switch to Mona, you press E on Mona. You switch back to Ning and Geo MC. You just keep mashing E's on them, occasionally popping their ults, just to get Noelle's ult back up, and then you use Noelle again. This is what a Noelle battery comp looks like. If you are running Noelle as your main carry, these two are basically the mandatory supports. Ning and MC. If you don't have Ning, you sub in like someone else like Razor or Kaya or Lisa, someone who can like generate energy really fast to get Noelle's ult back up, but this is the ideal comp for that. So in that case, they would both be double S tier specifically for Noelle. Only for Noelle though. Otherwise, yeah, they're like here. Otherwise, they're like here. So why is Ning still an A tier support? That's because that's because if you don't have a healer, Ning's your next best option. That's all it comes down to. If you're running Abyss Spiral, you need two teams, right? So if you're running Abyss Spiral, you need to have two teams going. If you did not get Chi-Chi, you did not get Jean, you did not get Bennett, and you only have free Barbara as a healer. You only have one healer for one of your two teams. So what do you do if you don't have a second healer? You run Ning. Because Ning makes shields, and she makes lots of shields. Alright, the official nest, sorry. Thank you for reminding me. Perfect, thank you. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, so... thank you very much, Xylo Wolfzan, for letting me know I put it in the wrong place. So, what does Ning do? She generates a fuckload of shields. Yeah, if you don't have Ning, you use GeoMC, because he still also generates shields, but it's cope as fuck. Or you can run Noelle, technically, because she can make, like, one round of shields and kind of heal, but eh. Or you use GeoMC, because he can drop a shield every 6 seconds with his E. So yeah, Ning is specifically good because if you don't have two healers, Ning is your best option for survivability because she drops fuckloads of shields. Where did Mona go? Thank you. That's the character that was missing. I couldn't remember who was missing from S tier. Thank you, Rakami. So yeah, that is why Ning is an A tier support. It's specifically you don't have a second healer, Ning's your best option for survivability because her ult can potentially drop 10 shields at once. Every auto attack can potentially drop a shield. Every E can drop a chunk of shields in AoE. Like that is why Ning is a good support, is if you don't have a healer. Alright. Moving on. B tier. Lisa is technically a support. She's an energy gen support. She is technically alright at it. The problem with because Lisa does what Fischl does, where she can generate 1 electro energy per second, but only if you stay on Lisa and you mash your skill button, because she can shoot one of her tap E's out every second, and it generates 1 electro orb. But it requires you to stay on the field as Lisa to do so. So if you're running like a Noelle comp and you don't have Fischl, you can run Lisa as your third person, and basically, you go pop Geo MC's E, pop Ning's E, switch to Lisa, you press E like maybe 4 times to get 4 Electro Orbs, and you go back to Geo MC and press E. And you keep doing that, you keep doing that, you keep doing that, you keep doing that. Until Noelle's ult is back up, and then you Unga Bunga Skyscraper Greatsword. So that's really the only time Lisa's useful in a comp, is if you don't have Fischl and you're running a Noelle comp. Otherwise, Lisa's just, she suffers from an identity crisis. She's not a good sub carry because her ult knocks people out of the small circle it makes. So it's very hard for you to proc a lot of reactions off of that, because they'll be getting knocked out of the area. Her tap E is very good for rapid fire building electro energy, but you have to stay on her compared to like Fischl or Razor, who you pop their E's and switch off. That's it. So like you have to stay on her instead of doing damage with your carry, which hurts your DPS. And then she's not a great support because Fischl and Razor still do her energy gen job better. Because you can pop over to them, pop your energy gen on Razor or Fischl, and then switch off to your carry. So yeah, this is for this is why Lisa just she's a fill-in for Fischl and Razor if you don't have them and you need a second Electro character with like Keijing or something, or with a Noelle comp, but she's not good at any of the jobs. She's outclassed by every Electro character in every single role, basically. Kaya is a fantastic sub carry, as we covered in the previous tier list. He's okay as a support. The one reason you run Kaya as a support is to get 2 ice people on your team for like a Chong Yun ice carry, team. The entire reason you run Kaya is to get more energy for Chong Yun by spamming his E, and then switch over to real quick. Rakami. Wait, fuck. That's not what I went. That is not what I meant to copy paste. What the fuck is this? I'm not gonna replay it. But god damn it, what the fuck? I am good streamer, I promise. I'm gonna replay it because we're finishing up the tier list, but just watch that, Rakami. Just watch that. Cause that is the ideal Mona DPS build, is a vaporized setup. So watch that. If you haven't seen it already, like, that's the ideal DPS setup for Mona. But yeah, the only problem with that setup is it doesn't work if the enemy is elemental and not fire. That's the problem. Vaporized setups and melt setups don't work if the enemy has another element on them, because they're like an electro slime or something like that. But yeah, so yeah, Kaya is specifically there to give Chong Yun more energy, so he can spam his ult more often when he's your carry in a double ice comp, and it also gives you 2 ice characters, so you get the 15% extra crit chance against enemies with ice on them. That is what Kaya's job is as a support, is specifically to support Chong Yun, and then that's only if you don't have Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi does that better for Chong Yun, but if you don't have Chi-Chi, you run Kaya for double ice comps. That's about it. That's why he's B tier. He has one job he does really well if you don't have Chi-Chi. Geo MC, again, he's for Noelle comps, and then if you want to run a Ning carry, he's your best option for a second Geo character to give Ning the 15% damage bonus. But Ning carry is just, I love Ning carry comps are one of my favorite builds to play. They don't compete with other elemental builds because Geo makes shields instead of extra damage. The Geo reactions make you tankier instead of dealing extra damage, so they can't compete with the DPS of other elemental builds. Amber is technically a fire support if you don't have Zhang Ling yet, but she's really bad at it. Because her Fumo sucks ass, her E ability, the taunt, sucks ass, and her ult sucks as well. It's a tiny circle, the ult lasts like 2 seconds, so you get at best 2 to 3 reactions out of it, or 2 to 3 fire application procs. She can't deal a lot of fire damage, so she generates energy for a fire carry in a double fire comp really fucking badly. The only reason to run Amber as a support is because you haven't gone in Zhang Ling yet. But technically, she can support. Then Keijing is a carry. She's not supposed to be a support. She doesn't. Keijing is a terrible support. Razor does a support job for Keijing better, and Keijing should be your carry in an electrical team, regardless. So, like, Keijing is a terrible support. Beidou is not a support either. Same reason. Razor does a better job being a support on the electrical team, and Beidou's job is to be a sub carry. Beidou is supposed to be the sub carry for like Diluc, for Keijing, for Chong Yun, for any person to give them electro procs. She's supposed to do basically Fischl's job, but without doing extra Fischl things. Like, that's Beidou's job, is to be a sub carry. She doesn't do well as a carry. She doesn't really do well as a support. She's supposed to be a sub carry, because her ult is a really good sub carry ult. Chong Yun can't support. Nothing he does supports well. That's it. None of his abilities support well. He's supposed to be a carry. Diluc actually is a decent carry. Support. He's a decent fire support. So if you had like Bennett on a double fire team, if you have like Bennett as your carry, Diluc's like up here. He's like A tier, maybe even low S as a support, because he's really good at, you switch to Diluc, you press E 3 times, you switch back off, you just got 6 fire orbs. Like, he's really, really good at that. But, yeah, like, he's really, really good at that. But, the problem with that is, if you have a Bennett and a Diluc, Bennett should be your carry. There's no reason. Oh, Diluc should be your carry. There's no reason to have Bennett to have Bennett as the carry and Diluc as the support. When if you literally just flip them over, you give them each other's items to change the build, you're suddenly doing like an extra 10-20% damage. There's just no reason to do that. So yeah, technically Diluc is actually a really good support for a double fire comp, but he's supposed to be the carry in that case. There is literally no reason to make him the support. So yeah. That's Diluc. Jing is a terrible support because he doesn't do any support job well, except for making you slightly tankier with his E and healing you a little bit, but you have to take damage to get the heals, so he's not a good healer. He doesn't do CC. He doesn't do energy regeneration because his E is up once every 20 fucking seconds. His one job is to be a sub carry. Jing Chao is a sub carry because his ult is the best water sub carry ability in the game. But even then, Mona's a better sub carry because Mona can do the same thing as Jing Chao, and also do more things like amping damage and applying mass wet status and applying taunting CC and just all these other things that Jing Chao can't do as a sub carry. That's why he's honestly the worst non-free character in the game, in my opinion. And then again, Noelle's not a support. She can't generate energy for herself or any teammates. If you want shields, GeoMC is better. Ning is better. Technically she heals people, but the only way she can heal people is by popping her 25-second cooldown E and hitting things. And the entire time you're hitting things with her and healing up a little bit, the rest of your team, your carry can't be doing damage. So, like, you're better off just running GeoMC shields at that point, or Ning shields, unless you really want to run shields and healing. But I do not personally, I think Noelle is a trap as a support. Like, I think Noelle is a trap as a support because the extra little bit of healing she gives you, past the Geo shields you can get from any other Geo character, do not make up for how much damage you lose hitting things with Noelle instead of just killing things with your carry. So I think she's a trap as a support, but she is technically a support, so I'll put her right above Amber. I will put her right above Amber because technically she's a support, and she's also your only like shield option before you get to Liu Wei. When you get to Liu Wei, GeoMC is a better support than Noelle's, but in my opinion. This is, of course, opinion-based, like, because I just don't think her healing's worth it. I just don't think her healing's worth how long you have to spend hitting things with Noelle compared to just dropping more shields with GeoMC and then using your carry to kill things so they can't hurt you anymore. Yes, alright, this is a support tier list. Speaking of which, we are done with the tier list. That is everyone. That is the support tier lists and all of the explanations for why. And I need to now add these in as well. So, Bennett is best possible support in double fire comps because he kinda heals. Mona is only held back by being water. And then Zhang Ling is sub-in support if you don't have Bennett / Deluke in a double fire team. MC worst Nemo support because because her CC pushes away enemies, hurting DPS. Alright. Alright. Next descriptor line. Razor is cope energy support for double electric Beijing teams. Because you don't have fish. Ning is best shield Jenner if you don't have a healer for Abyss. That's the only reason Ning is even considered a support, is because she can make shields. And lots. She makes the most shields in the game. I have legit had like 20 shields on the floor at once when playing Ning. Lisa is outdone by every Electro in support, but can sub if you don't have them. And then Kaya is sub for Chi-Chi in Chong Yun double ice comps, and Geo MC is discount Ning for shields. Noelle discounter. Noelle gens low shields and heal isn't worth, in my opinion, versus Ning or MC shields. And Amber is Copist fire. Copist double fire supports if you don't have Zhang Ling. Wow, these are really long. Okay. Let me see if I can cut this down. Amber is Cope sub for double fire. Lisa less than every electro supports. Lisa, I just say Lisa is sub for electro supports if you are poor. Kaya is sub for Chi-Chi in Chong Yun double ice comps. Geo MC is discount Ning for shields. Noelle gens low shields. Gens few shields, I guess is the better way to say it. Noelle gens few shields and heal isn't worth it, in my opinion. And heal doesn't make up less shielding, less shields, in my opinion. Well, if I could leave a comment on this, I would, but I can't, and the descriptions are so short. Is Cope energy supports sub for fish in double in caging teams. Best shield generator. Oh, it's Bennett is best supports in double fire comps because he heals, kinda. Mona is only held back by being water. Zhang Ling is sub and supports for double fire teams. And boom! God, those are really long. Alright. It's over. Support tier lists. Patch 1.00. This is a tier list at how good each character is at fulfilling a support's role in a team comp.
You know what up?
This accounts for both how good they are at one thing and how many things they can also do at once. Anemo is busted with Vanera set at AR 30 plus, so they are all god supports. Save.
Nice descriptions, dude.
Thanks. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get dinner.
What? Food? Why would you do that?
I did not read those yet, Akami, because I've been on streams, and fuck, this stream still ended up being 3 hours long, but I'll cut it down to like 20 minutes, easily.
Oh shit.
20 minutes of play, right?
Okay, well, 20 minutes for a video, basically. Because I'm just gonna be like, hey, here's why this, here's why this, here's why this, with none of the extra distractions in there. I'll scrub through it tomorrow, probably put out a video, but yeah.
30% less squirrel.
You gonna add Tony, go fuck yourself?
That's gonna be like the tagline. It's gonna be
Amber gives 25% attack to main pyro DPS.
They're not worth.
It's still not
No.
worth.
Personally, is like.
unless you find it fun. Fun is always worth it.
Is it a talent? Which one is it? What are you talking about exactly? 25% more fire damage? Her talents and constellations don't do that. I don't. Which are you? I don't understand what you mean by that. That she doesn't have any mechanic that does that. Oh, because she gives you the 25% attack for the resonance. I'm sorry, I'm hungry and tired, so I didn't understand the joke. That's my fault. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, that's what you mean, the 25% attack. I mean, like I said, she is the ultimate cope support for a double fire team because you want that 25% attack. She is the ultimate cope support if you, for some reason, don't have a Zhang Ling and you want to run double fire. That's the only reason to run her. Like, yeah, no, like, yeah. That's
Just solve puzzles.
and she's good at solving puzzles. Oh god, you have a level 70 Amber. No. Ningguang is very good with the martial artist set. Yes. If you're using her as a carry, she's good with the martial artist set. But that being said, the better option is the better option. I remember artifacts, which is the set bonuses. There is a better one for her than martial artist, if I recall correctly. Actually, no, there isn't. I forgot. I forgot. None of them actually synergize with her. Yeah, martial artist is the best set for her. Because Archaic Petra is a fucking meme set. Who gives a fuck if you get 35% more elemental resistance? Christ. My brain. My poor brain. I was gonna say Gladiator, but I forgot Gladiator can apply to Ning. So yeah, you're right. Martial Artist is the best set for Ning. Best DPS set if you want to run her as a DPS for a double Geo team. Martial Artist is your best bets. Howie, plus 18% is plus 18 base attack, not total. Martial Artist, 40% extra normal attack and charge attack bonus is going to be total damage. On the other hand, if we take a look at my Keijing, actually let's take a look at my D-Look because he has more attack. 1200 attack, that'll be 40% of any auto attacks off of that 1200 attack. If we look at attributes, 18% attack only multiplies with the white number, 480. When they say percent attack in game, they mean percent base attack, which is your character levels at base attack plus your weapons base attack. So percent attack, it's not even diminishing returns. Like, it's not even diminishing returns, it's the fact that it's not a total multiplier. In this case, 18% attack is only multiplying on 3/5 of my attack value. So that means that it's actually only getting me about a 8% damage or a 10% damage increase. So it's not worth it. Percent attack is not very good. That's why, for example, like on Diluc, where are you? Like, the thing is, on Hourglasses, I think percent attack is the best stat anyway, so you get percent attack, because, like, there isn't a better percent modifier for these artifacts. But on Cups, you go for percent Pyro on, like, Diluc. Yeah. The thing to remember is that when they say percent attack, it means percent base attack. So that's why flat attack is better early game. You always max out your feather, your character level, and your weapon first. Before you max out any other artifact, you max out your feather on your carry. Because this flat 272 or this flat 123 attack is a flat bonus that is going to be higher than any percent you can get from an Hourglass on attack. So, just to keep in mind for when you're like once you hit level 70, percent attack starts getting better returns. Once you hit level 70 with 4-star or 5-star weapons, then percent attack does give you good returns because 4-star and 5-star weapons have good base attack. So that's when the returns get better. But even then, the 4-piece set bonuses are just so much better than double 18% attack. Alright, guys. Dinner time for me. I'm gonna go make some tacos or something because I still have shredded chicken that I made last night. I'll probably go make some tacos or something, hang out with the wife, and probably be back in like an hour to do like an answering questions, helping you with your builds and doing some questing on my accounts stream. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm gonna try to cut down this 3 hours of tier list talk into like a 20-minute video. Or maybe I'll cut them down into like a video for each of the tier lists. I don't know. I'm gonna try to cut it down though and make videos on YouTube out of them. So you guys have an easier way to see the explanations for these tier lists, on my channel basically, on Tuna Nice channel. That way you can just watch like a 10-minute video and be like, okay, that's why these tier list rankings are this way, instead of watching through a 3-hour fucking VOD. All right. I'll probably do it over dinner, Rakami. All right. I do not have any videos examining artifact sets. I intend to, but not yet. All right, guys. Happy waifuing whalers. That works. Happy waifuing whalers. I'll see you guys in like an hour or two. Bye.